night. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. Evan Roberts, Tiki Barber. It's Evan and Tiki on WFAN, The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, good Monday morning to you. How we doing? Evan and Tiki on The Fan for the next 4 hours. We had ourselves a hell of a football weekend. That was tremendous to watch. We'll get into every single game. We'll take your calls on every single game at 888-808-1019. But I must congratulate the Giant fans. It really feels like you survived the weekend, because I think one of the worries going into all these awesome games was how it would impact the Giant head coaching search.
Yes.
Well, the Eagles lost in a miserable fashion, and it feels like Nick Sirianni is safe, so you don't have to worry about John going to Philly. And despite the Packers having an epic collapse on Saturday night against Chicago, as you may have heard with the morning guys, Adam Schefter's already said the expectation is Matt LaFleur and the Packers are going to agree to a new contract. So despite the results not going your way, if you were watching this,
right,
in terms of Giant head coaching possibilities, I think you guys survived it. I don't think there's any new vacancies you should be worried about.
Now, look, there are still a bunch of vacancies out there, 7 of them, 6 of them, and not including Baltimore, because he's not going back there, that John Harbaugh could actually go to. But at the end of the day, our rooting interest wasn't served this weekend, and it doesn't seem like it came to haunt us. The interesting thing that I'm just talking to Sean about, how come no coach has been hired yet? There's been no movement with any of the openings. There's a bunch of openings, and there's a bunch of candidates. And I guess some of the waiting for the coordinators who get knocked out of the playoffs becomes an issue as well, because you can only do Zoom meetings, not in-person meetings. But what are we waiting for? And Sean said, it's John Harbaugh. So John Harbaugh is the Juan Soto of this offseason.
He is.
Of this NFL offseason. We're not fully in it yet, but you know what I mean. The teams that are eliminated. He's the Juan Soto.
He's the Don.
He's the prize. Yeah. And until he moves, nobody's going to do anything, because Cleveland thinks they have a shot at him. We obviously, the Giants do. The Dolphins do. Everybody thinks that they have a shot at John Harbaugh. Obviously not the Baltimore Ravens, but we're going to have to wait until he decides what he wants to do, because it's really going to come down to that. Now, he's asking for a ton of money. I know you all saw this over the weekend. He's asking for $20 million in salary, which is at the top end of what head coaches make, and then $10 million for his staff.
Well, I don't know if that report is true, by the way.
Whatever.
I don't know if I buy that.
Yeah, I think that got debunked, the $20 million.
Yeah. I think that was John Harbaugh.
By the way, this is what he deserves.
Well, yeah, I think it's easy to assume that the top head coach on the market is going to want to be the highest paid head coach on the market, because or the highest paid head coach, period.
It's just like NFL free agency.
Yeah.
When a player gets paid, Andy Reid is paid, Mike Tomlin's paid, the next guy to get paid, head coach-wise, needs to be better.
Oh, 100%. And rightfully so, because most times a head coach of the caliber of John doesn't get to quote-unquote free agency,
right,
which is where he's at. So I don't believe any of that report, but I do believe it's going to cost you a lot to get him. And it's funny, like watching Saturday night, and all of these games in their own way were entertaining. The only dud was really New England against the Chargers, which was probably a good thing because it was Sunday night. And I don't know about you, but I was tired after watching 7 straight hours of football. But every game had its own form of entertainment. And as I'm watching the Packers melt down, and there were so many reasons they melted down, including the kicker, Brandon McManus, who misses 2 field goals and an extra point, the way that game ended, and losing to a division rival, not just a division rival, but the division rival that you owned for 2.5 decades, I went to sleep that night saying, damn, they're going to get rid of him. I literally did. And I spent all day Sunday under the...
He's just too good, though.
He's great. And it's not a knock on LaFleur, because if LaFleur is available and I'm the Giants or any other team, I'd be running to hire him.
Does he go top of list, or is he second?
I would put him right there with John Harbaugh.
Yeah, he hasn't won a championship, so that's what prevents you from saying he's better than John Harbaugh.
He's not better than John Harbaugh. I think he may project better because, A, he's younger, so he could just do it in theory for the next 25 years, and he's an offensive-minded head coach. And I'm not even suggesting that after that game I wanted the Packers to fire Matt LaFleur, but after watching that kind of meltdown, I don't know if you guys felt this way. I was just under the impression, wow, they're really going to pull the trigger, because that was an all-time bad loss, and all-time bad losses to me are made worse based on who it happens to.
Right.
And when it happens against the Chicago Bears, a franchise that not too long ago you beat 22 out of 25 times, and the other head coach actively talks about basically how much he hates you, I just thought up until the Schefter report about an hour ago that the expectation is they're going to make a new deal. I was thinking they really are going to pull the trigger on LaFleur.
Yeah, Ben Johnson called his shot like Babe Ruth before the season, saying he can't wait to beat them, dunks all over them. And then the other thing going against the Packers, or why I thought he was out, if the NFL didn't expand to the 7th team, the Packers would not have made the playoffs the last few years. They've been the 7th seed every single year. So it's almost like LaFleur's resume has gotten basically buffed up and shinied up because of the NFL expansion rules.
Yeah, it's interesting because they are a good team. We know this. And they can beat you on any given Sunday, to steal the cliche. But what have they actually done when it matters?
Right.
With Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, they beat the Cowboys, but everybody does that in the playoffs.
Right. And the last time he had his first couple of years with Aaron Rodgers, too.
Yes.
And so
he had the famous, remember with the famous let's kick the field goal instead of going for it on 4th down?
So that's my point. So the early part of his career was buoyed by an MVP at the time, current MVP, because he had won a couple at back-to-back in that era. So he is clearly a good coach. But he is not definitely one of the best in the league, because you got to win in the postseason before you can start claiming that. With that being said, if he would have gotten fired, I would have championed for him.
No, and that's
100% for the New York Giants.
I kind of agree. Like, if he had gotten fired, my attitude would have been, all right, I'm still going after John Harbaugh, but in the disaster scenario that he ends up in Green Bay, John Harbaugh, that is, fine. I'll go take LaFleur, because LaFleur is developing a resume very similar to a recent John Harbaugh resume or a recent Mike McCarthy resume, which is he puts up, or Mike Tomlin resume, which is I win in the regular season and I've got these catastrophic postseason losses. He's 3-6 in the playoffs, and some of these losses, like the one on Saturday, is all time. Like, it's not just playoff losses. And I think about Brian Daboll, like, ultimately what cost Brian Daboll his job? It wasn't just the losses. It was how the losses happened.
Yeah.
And when you think about the way Green Bay lost this game on Saturday night, I'm still stunned by it. Like, of all the things that happened this weekend, and again, it was so entertaining. We're going to get to every aspect of it. I think the thing 48 hours later I'm still most stunned by is that the Bears came back and won that game. It was 21-9, like halfway through the fourth quarter, or a few minutes into the fourth quarter. That was a Giant-esque loss, the way they lost that game.
Oh, yeah, and it was almost over after it was 21-3 for Ben Johnson's coaching acumen. Because you go for it on 4th and 4 from your own 22 or 23-yard line or whatever it is. It falls incomplete. And the next thing you know, they're now right back up. That was made it 21-0. You gave them point-blank range. It just felt like a desperation coaching move. And at 14-3, you weren't in desperation mode that early in the game. So Ben Johnson almost screwed himself. He ended up surviving it because Caleb Williams is turning into one of the top quarterbacks in football. You just have to face the fact. Yep. I know a lot of people had doubts about him coming out of USC and his odd demeanor, but he is a hell of a quarterback. Some of those throws that he made late in that game were just unbelievable. So
the 4th down throw,
it was so perfectly lofted, like layered. You just can't make that throw unless you're an elite player with an elite mindset to how to play the game. And so Ben Johnson survives because he has a quarterback, which tells you need a quarterback, but you also need a head coach.
Absolutely. The other game that I think had the worry of Giant fans in terms of how it would impact potentially John Harbaugh going there was the Eagle game. And it's funny, and I think you guys have the same impression, despite how bad of a loss that was for Philadelphia. And it was bad. I mean, that's a brutal loss, especially considering the amount of injuries not only the Niners were dealing with, but losing George Kittle in the middle of this game to an Achilles injury. Like, this was an all-time brutal loss for the Eagles. I don't walk away from it thinking Nick Sirianni's in trouble. Well, I walk away from it thinking we're going to get the same thing that happened 2 years ago, which is a flushing of a coordinator, specifically an offensive coordinator with Kevin Petula.
Right.
Like, the end result isn't going to be Nick Sirianni getting fired. It's going to be, they're going to get a new OC. And that new OC may well be Brian Daboll at this point.
And A.J. Brown's going to be gone.
Yes.
I mean, that's clear.
Definitely.
And so if you're choosing one, who are you choosing? If you're the Eagles, you're choosing A.J. Brown and his continued happiness, whatever, productivity, even though he dropped a couple passes in the game.
Oh, dude, he dropped a brutal one on third down. Now, he got wiped out because they converted on fourth down one play later by Dallas Goedert, but that is a play you have to make, especially when you're whining and bitching all the time.
Exactly. Give me the ball. Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
And then you drop it. Or do you choose the head coach, Nick Sirianni, who people have been, for whatever reason, not fully bought into, despite making the postseason every single season and winning a Super Bowl, getting to another, that he's been a head coach? Like, does that make any? It doesn't make any sense.
It's because they weren't fully bought into him from the moment he was hired.
Yeah.
He was like the third choice, if you remember. Like, he was even shocked he got an interview.
Once you climb the mountain and win it, don't you just forget all that stuff?
Tiki, these are not normal people that live down there. They're not normal down there.
That's true.
But I don't think they're getting rid of him. Now, would I get rid of him? Probably not. But if you ask me on a deserted island who I'd rather not spend time with, A.J. Brown or Nick Sirianni, I'd probably just run into the ocean. Because they're both asses. Like yesterday during that game, and we all saw it, and Tom Brady broke it down, when we get the A.J. Brown versus Nick Sirianni screaming match.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway, and I think I'm an IFO in regards to this, is that they're both asses.
Right.
Like,
why do that right then?
if you're Nick Sirianni, why are you sprinting over? Now, his excuse after the game was he was concerned about a 12-men on the field penalty.
Yeah, because he was saying, get off the field.
Right.
He was saying, get off the field, or whatever he was saying.
But he ran up to him as if he wanted to start a fight.
Yeah.
And they're going nose to nose like they're booking a WrestleMania match. And Michael Strahan said it best during halftime. I agree with Michael. If you're the head coach, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, there are other ways to kind of take a situation and bring down the temperature. So it seems like these are two alpha jackass personalities that don't mix. But good news, Giant fans, I get zero impression that despite how bad that home loss was, Sirianni's gone.
No,
so
I
I
don't
think
think
you
so
can
either.
almost check off the John Harbaugh Eagle connection, because I don't see that happening.
No, the only one you got to worry about now, connection-wise, is Cleveland. Because of his family or whatever.
The active vacancies that we already knew about. Atlanta,
Right.
Cleveland, whoever else you want to come up with from the 8 current vacancies, 7, because we can't count the Ravens.
Right.
Those are the teams to worry about, but I think we have survived any worry of wild card weekend impacting it, because there's no talk of Sirianni being gone.
No.
I think McDermott is fine after that big win in Jacksonville. I don't think losing to the Broncos a week from now is going to lead to Buffalo making a big change.
Yeah, and generally speaking, you're not going to get fired after making it to the division round.
I doubt it.
Right.
And losing to a number 1 seed on
Yeah.
the road. I know they may not be the number 1 seed in terms of the way we view them, but I do think that the Buffalo thing we can throw out. The Green Bay was the one that existed, and it was made worse on Sunday morning. Because I don't know if you heard this. So Green Bay melts down. We all watched the game Saturday night. We're all stunned, whatever your rooting interest was, probably gambling. On Sunday, Adam Schefter starts to put the lines together. Is that what it's called? When you draw the lines together.
Connect the dots?
Yeah.
Connect the dots.
He started connecting the
Yeah,
dots.
Tiki.
That's putting lines together, though.
I guess
if
once you connect
if
the
you were
dots.
like, I don't know, just on this planet, and you were trying to explain, what is connect the dots? It's putting lines together.
So I got it right, is what you're trying to say.
Right.
Accidentally.
The idiot was still wrong. It won't make the list.
So as Sunday is going on, and we're still digesting the fact that the Green Bay Packers lost this brutal game to the Chicago Bears, here's the connection that Adam Schefter described between the Green Bay Packers and John Harbaugh. And keep this in mind before we play this for you. The latest is that the intention is they're going to work on a new contract because LaFleur has 1 year left on his deal. I don't doubt that, but things can fall apart. I mean, just because their intention is to have a new contract, who knows what LaFleur thinks?
Oh, yeah, he could say, I am worth $18 million a year. And they say, you're worth $12 million a year.
Right.
So that could be the impasse. It could lead to him not being their head coach.
A money impasse, or LaFleur saying, no, I'm not going to sign a new contract, which could lead to his dismissal, because I don't know if he would be allowed.
But why would he do that?
Because he may look at John Harbaugh getting the pick of the litter as a coaching free agent and say, why not me? Can you imagine LaFleur as a head coaching free agent, even if it's not this cycle? We don't know who's going to be in next year's cycle. I'm not saying it's going to be as appealing as what we have now, but LaFleur could very well say, I'm not just going to settle because you want me back. I'm not going to accept that. Either get rid of me or I'll be a free agent next year. I think that those are Not likely possibilities, but they're possibilities.
Right.
Here's the connection as described by Adam Schefter between the Packers franchise and John Harbaugh.
Well, the Packers' former president back in the day was a man by the name of Bob Harlan. Bob Harlan's son, Brian Harlan, represents John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is a Midwestern guy who has a home in the Upper Peninsula. And a lot of people around the league have been wondering if the Packers decide to go in a different direction, if all of a sudden the Green Bay Packers might vault to the top of John Harbaugh's list as the top available choice for him.
So the connection is the former team president's son is the agent of John Harbaugh.
I mean, I guess that's a connection. It is, obviously, but are father's son going to make business decisions based on a relationship with a dad? I don't know. It doesn't make it. I guess it makes sense, but it doesn't really move the needle for me.
No, I think it's
just an interesting connection.
What would move the needle if they can't agree on a new deal, and we'll keep you posted, if something breaks and it's official, yes, a new 5-year contract between the Packers and LaFleur. I think what would move the needles on Green Bay is Jordan Love, the roster, and they're the Green Bay Packers. Like, we put over the Giants a lot for being a flagship NFL franchise, and they are, but so are the Packers.
Right.
They are a team steeped in tradition. So I think what would scare me about Green Bay if there was a vacancy is all of that. And all of that is completely fair. But let's see if the Packers and LaFleur can make a deal. But I tell you, after the way they lost Saturday night, I thought it was almost likelier than not that they were going to have a split up. We'll get into all the other games as well, including what happened in Jacksonville between the Bills and Jaguars and how Tony Romo lost his freaking mind during that game. Your calls on the latest with the Giant coaching search, as well as everything from Wild Card Weekend, because it was truly epic. 888-808-1019. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
I know there are a lot of you guys out there like me who travel a ton. You're always on the go. Something going on for me is football, or it's a cheer competition, or traveling to go see my brother because he likes to play golf. But the one thing that I value more importantly than my travel schedule is feeling safe and knowing that my family is safe if I'm not with them. That's why I turned to my partners over at Slomin's. They installed the Slomin Shield Link system into my home, and I gotta tell you, it is a game changer. It combines perfectly safety, convenience, and peace of mind, and I can manage it all from my home, my phone, no matter where I am. Actually, when I'm in bed, I manage it from my phone, much less when I'm on the road. I can do it as well. There's so many different features that I'm so excited about. The cameras that are all around my house. I can open my garage from my phone just in case someone needs to drop something off for me. The lighting is controlled, everything, including the doorbell camera, so I know who's ringing my doorbell. But the best thing that I like is some days I like to chill, come home, have a glass of wine. I can turn the music on before I step into the door, all with the Slomin Shield Link system. You can experience it as well. Experience the future of home security and automation with the Slomin Shield Link system. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME or slomins.com.
This portion of the program is sponsored by Upper East Side Rehabilitation and Nursing Center.
Happy New Year from Upper East Side Rehabilitation and Nursing Center, where the experience of true well-being is redefined by nurturing body, mind, and spirit in order to accomplish full recovery. Call 212-879-1600 today. That's 212-879-1600.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on moneyline, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Your best year starts with a savings. Don't miss the January Jumpstart event at Nielsen Dodge.
That's right, Chels. We're ready to start your new year with low lease payments to get you driving.
Lease a new 2026 Dodge Durango GT Plus all-wheel drive Hemi V8, just $299 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x4, just $359 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
With zero down payment and the credit help you deserve.
Come see all the great savings we've lined up so you can start your new year driving happy and hassle-free. Let the fun begin.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Start something new sales event. With approval term Durango 36, Ram 42 months due at sign, Durango 55.99, Ram 59.54 at tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Talk sports here. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Paramount Plus to stream every NFL on CBS playoff game.
One of the most entertaining wild card weekends you'll ever see. We'll get into more detail coming up in a few minutes. Plus, Tony Romo is really, really weird. And your calls at 888-808-1019.
This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. On top of all the football yesterday, the Knicks rebounded from their Friday night loss in Phoenix with a 123-114 win in Portland last evening. Jalen Brunson led the way, 26 points. OG poured in another 24. The Knicks now have a couple nights off before continuing that West Coast trip a Wednesday night in Sacramento.
They got Josh Hart back. That makes a big difference. And Mike Brown benched Karl Anthony Towns in the last 9 minutes of the game. One thing from yesterday's Buffalo game, which I thought pound for pound was the most entertaining from beginning to end game of the weekend.
Agreed.
After the Bills converted on the 4th and 1 tush push, where Josh Allen almost pushed his way 11 yards for a touchdown, there was a debate. It was briefly on the broadcast, and I've heard it on social media and at friends with if you were watching the game at a bar with your friends, on if the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen should have taken a knee on 1st and goal from the 1-yard line with a minute to go, or just score a touchdown. Now, Buffalo ended up just scoring a touchdown, which gave Jacksonville 59 seconds to play with, down by 3 with no timeouts left. To me, this was never a debate, Tiki. If you have to score a touchdown, not a field goal.
Right. Field goal doesn't help you.
I can't take for granted that I'm going to score a touchdown.
I hear you 100%.
So if Jacksonville's letting me score, which, yeah, they probably were, I'm going to take it. And so I never understood the other side of, well, you got to milk the clock. You don't want to give them too much time. I don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes on the other side. There's no guarantee I'm scoring a touchdown, so let me take it. And the Bills did. Good for them. But I do not understand that debate.
Well, think about this. Think about last night, the Patriots game, which I had to rewatch. I was driving back from a cheer competition down in Atlantic City. And as I'm watching that game, the Chargers are in point-blank range how many times? And how many touchdowns did they score? 0.
Big fat zero.
0. They kicked the 1 field goal. And so people make it seem like, oh, once you're in the tight red area, you're going to score. No, you're not.
I know that Josh Allen literally just pushed a pile 11 yards, and I get it. The odds are high that you're going to score. But what if you don't?
I know.
What if you take that knee on 1st down
and you lose a yard because you can't? I mean, you can't take a positive. Like, you can't gain a yard on taking a knee.
It's tough. Like, assuming Jacksonville's truly allowing Allen to score, I guess in theory he could go right down and maybe keep it even. But you're probably right. You're being pushed back a yard, and now, like, the risk starts to grow.
I agree with you.
Like,
I had no problem with this.
And I think it turned out to be a no biggie because, of course, on the very first pass Trevor Lawrence made, it gets tipped for an interception and the game is over. So the Bills defense made the stop. But even if Jacksonville had come back and kicked the field goal and forced overtime or scored a touchdown and won the game, I'd be standing on the same principle, which is if you have to score a touchdown, score a touchdown.
Yeah, it's one thing if you just have to kick a field goal. If you're down by 2, do that. Actually, lose yardage. Take 5.
That's completely different.
You know what I mean? But you run the clock out, kick the game-winning field goal.
Unless Tony Romo's your holder. Then you've got to take your chance.
I disagree with you guys, man. The game has changed. I think on 1st down there, I think you take a knee and you trust with Josh Allen on those 3 downs. I'm getting it because I think those 30 seconds are more important, especially
you
with
realize it's now going to be 2nd and 2 from the 2.
I understand it's the game you play, but you're facing a kicker that can kick from 60 yards on the other end. I just think the league has changed with the kicking and getting these field goals.
You no longer have a tush-pushable play on this 2-yard line.
You're also
unless you're the Eagles.
I mean, you could push Josh Allen twice, though. Push him on 2nd down, push him on 3rd down.
I hear you.
Get there.
Okay,
and
what if you fumble the snap?
What?
Like, there's so many things that can go wrong.
What if you fumble the snap on 1st down? You know what I mean? This is the same team that lost to the Chiefs, leaving 13 seconds on the clock. I mean, that many seconds versus little just tells me McDermott's not learning his lesson.
Yeah, but you need to exercise that demon, and they did. Because their defense played the part, unlike whatever that year that was, 4 years ago.
I've lost track of that.
You know what we're all talking about when the defense didn't play their part.
By the way, there's an easy mechanism to remember the year of that famous 13-second game. Brian Daboll got hired by the Giants a few weeks later. So you remember what year Brian Daboll was hired.
That was pre-2022?
Yes. Well, it was the 21 season, but it was 22. It was January of 2022. And I'll never forget it because when Daboll and Shane took the jobs, it was still very sensitive to bring it up.
That's right.
Was it brought up? I don't remember that.
No, it was brought up. Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
And I think Dave's gave, I don't want to talk about it.
It was brought up at Dave's opening press conference. It was. He's right.
And then what did he basically pushed it off on McDermott?
No, I don't think he wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I think he made a joke at the time, like, boy, you guys are getting right into it, huh?
No, there's certain things I think you need time to talk about. Like, I'm not bringing this up a week after it happened or 2 weeks after it happened. I'll end with this. I think it's a pick your poison kind of moment, Sean, because I respect the idea of, hey, you can't leave 13 seconds for Patrick Mahomes or you can't leave 59 seconds for Trevor Lawrence. What I am telling you is I would rather leave that time, trust my defense, than the risk I never get in the end zone. That would be more difficult for me to deal with, that I took it for granted. I gave away a down. I didn't get in the end zone for some crazy reason. I can live with the great quarterback beating me more than I can live with the self-inflicted I chose not to score card. And that's where I stand. So I think the Bills did the right thing. I'll give Sean McDermott credit when need be. They punched it right in. He trusted his defense. And what happened? His defense made a play, and the Buffalo Bills are off to Denver for the second round, for the divisional round. We'll get into Tony Romo and how bizarre he was during the broadcast. But let's get to some of your calls. 888-808-1019, the toll-free number. Big O is in Newark. Good morning, Big O.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Happy New Year. Real fast, I feel like LaFleur had a great relationship with Matt Ryan when he got him his MVP, and Matt Ryan being the new president for the Falcons, why wouldn't they make a play to get LaFleur from Green Bay?
Good call. That's a very good call. I say the only way that's happening is if the Green Bay Packers are ready to move on and they're creatively looking for a way to move on from him and get something for him.
Completely disagree. I'll tell you why.
Why?
LaFleur has 1 year left on his deal.
Yes.
Okay? The report today from Adam Schefter is that the Packers are working to have a new contract for LaFleur because most coaches do not go into their final year of their contract. You'll hear the same stuff about Mike Tomlin whenever the Steelers season is over. So
he's not one of the highest paid head coaches in the NFL.
Matt LaFleur?
Matt LaFleur is not.
He's not. So
he's making less than Mike McDonald.
Wow.
Who's making $9 million.
I mean, Mike McDonald, though, could also ask for a new contract. So here's why I disagree with you. During these negotiations that are probably commencing right now, if LaFleur says to himself, I'm done here. I don't want to work here anymore.
No, but he's not saying that.
But let's say he is, because our last caller is suggesting the Falcons going after him and LaFleur's relationship with Matt Ryan. All LaFleur has to say to Green Bay is, not interested in talking about a new contract. What would the Packers do if that was the case? They'd have two options.
Right.
Let him play out on the final year, or move on from him. So I would actually argue the coach in this case actually has the power. LaFleur doesn't have to just accept it. He doesn't have to negotiate. He could say, nah, I'm good. Or he could look at Green Bay and say, I like being here, but I'd like to go into free agency next year. They would never allow that to happen.
I can't imagine either the Green Bay has a plan to replace him.
Right, but if LaFleur pushes it, he can easily get his way out.
Oh, I know
easily.
that. But I'm just saying, I'm backing you up. So if LaFleur has the power here, Green Bay then necessarily doesn't. If he does that to them, LaFleur does that to Green Bay, what are they doing? Who are they hiring?
Pivot to John Harbaugh.
I mean, maybe.
As quickly as they can.
If he wants to move to Green Bay and live in sub-freezing temperatures for half the season, maybe. But it might not be where John Harbaugh's mind is. Again, John Harbaugh hasn't spoken on any of this, so we have no idea what he actually really wants. Eventually, we will find out, but hopefully sometime this week. Interestingly, I think John Harbaugh could go anywhere and be happy because he's not that kind of, I want to chill. He wants to grind still. So it's just a matter of what gives him the best offer.
Says everything about Jeff Hafley's candidacy if he doesn't immediately get the Green Bay job, too.
Yeah, but that's a narrative.
Yeah,
that's not reality. I mean, are we getting reports that Jeff Hafley's doing a bunch of Zoom interviews for?
I think
that's a good point.
The report I read, I'm trying to remember, someone requested an interview on him. I think he's had like 2 requests.
Yeah,
and obviously now he's got free reign to just go interview because the Packer season is over. But sometimes being promoted from within is more difficult than going to a new franchise.
I agree with that.
With that said, all reports are the Packers intend on keeping Matt LaFleur. My only point is if LaFleur doesn't want to stay, he's got a lot of leverage going into the final year of his contract. Nico is on Long Island. Hey, Nico.
Hey, Nico.
Hey, fellas. How's it going?
All's good.
Good, man.
Listen, fellas, I just want to tell you guys, when I watch playoff football and I'm watching these teams go at it for 4 quarters, I feel like I'm looking at the 10 out of 10 across the bar, complete smoke show. But when I watch the Jets play a Week 17 game at home against the Patriots, I'm looking at the 2 out of 10 nagging my shoulder, fellas. And, I just don't see this team going anywhere as long as it's run by who it's run by, if you see where I'm getting at.
Nico,
the Jets are miserable.
Nico, I thought The exact same thing. Like, as soon as I sat down late Saturday because I had some errands to run. Not errands to run. I saw my son perform beautifully at a recital, a piano recital.
Fantastic.
And I can't be alone because Saturday at 4:30 is not exactly ideal to just park yourself in front of a TV, whether it's kids' birthday parties, cheer competitions, just activities in life. So what I did is, and you know me, when I finally got home at 9 o'clock at night, I started all the football from the beginning.
Oh, God.
So I was up till about...
That sounds miserable.
Oh, why? I skip all the commercials, I skip the fluff, and I watch every snap of every game.
Saturday night, dude?
Yeah. Well, no, I had already completed my activities. Went out to dinner in the city, saw my kid play the piano, now everybody's relaxed.
Okay.
My wife's passing out. Like, this is called Dream Spot. I mean, sitting down and watching football unbecumbered for 7 hours with no commercials? Like, what are you talking about? That's like the greatest part of the week. So I'm watching these games, and even the Carolina Ram game. And you would think, especially early on when the Panthers had their miscues, they went for it early on 4th down, they failed, and quickly the Rams took that early lead, and I thought the game was going to be a blowout. I was dead wrong. Mm-hmm. As I'm watching Carolina fight their way back, I'm like, the Jets don't play this sport.
Yeah.
They play a different sport.
Right.
And it made me realize, like our last caller, they are further away from competing than even we realize.
Yeah, no, you're right. And you see it all on so many different ways. Schematically, I was showing Evan this morning how innovative, or not innovative, but just how confusing it is to play the New England Patriots defensively. Because the Patriots probably have the MVP. It's likely going to be Drake May over Matt Stafford. We'll see how that plays out. Matt Stafford had a fantastic year as well. But the reason the Patriots beat the Chargers was not because of Drake May. It was because their defense was unbelievable. And like, they do all these different things. They're just confusing. And you look at the Jets, they do nothing like that.
No, I know. Speaking of the defense, so their defensive coordinator is Zach Kerr, who's filling in for Terrell Williams, who unfortunately is battling prostate cancer. Right. And so you talk about how great the Patriot defense was in terms of the schemes they came up with. Listen to this comment from Patriots linebacker Robert Spillane in what appears to be the Chargers admitting to Spillane they had no idea what the hell was going on.
Zach has been great all year. He keeps the dial spinning. He keeps offenses guessing. All year he's been doing that. You know, just after the game, talking to a few of the guys on their team, they had no clue what we were doing. And they came up and said that. We have no clue what you guys were in all game. So for him just to be able to build those packages throughout the week, our back-end players to know how to disguise the different defenses really keeps quarterbacks guessing.
That's exactly what it is. They disguise what they're doing. The one I showed Evan, it looks like a shell. It looks like there's 4 guys going to be 12 to 15 yards deep. And at the snap of the ball, it's cover 0. There's no safety in the middle of the field, and everybody's playing man. Their last play of the game, the sack that the Chargers' last offensive play where Justin Herbert gets sacked. You know what they ran? A drop 8. Remember drop 8? We all remember drop 8 from the Dallas Cowboy game when the Giants did this and the Cowboys got in the field goal range. They rushed 3 guys. 3 guys. But they did it so innovatively where 5 guys were at the line of scrimmage, 2 linebackers dropped out to cover that little check down area, and they played man. So it was like rush 3, drop 2 in the middle, play man behind. And so nobody was open. Justin Herbert takes the sack, game over. Right? That's the Giants do that. They rush 3, they drop guys into predictable zones, and the Cowboys complete a, 17-yard pass play that sets up a Brandon Aubrey 65-yard field goal.
A little different.
It's a little different. So, people think coaching is it's all on the players. No, it's on the coaches.
I know, but speaking of all on the coaches, I take that comment by Spillane about his DC Zach Kerr, how Charger players are admitting we have no idea what's going on.
By the way, they didn't. You can watch it and see. They didn't know what the hell was going on.
Tiki was saying the exact same thing while explaining the tape to me. He's like, I have no idea what's going on. What does that say about Greg Roman? I mean, I look at it from the perspective of the team that lost because I'm a loser.
That's a good point.
Like, if I'm a Charger fan, I hear that and I'm like, what? I got players saying I don't know what's going on?
Well, I mean, think about how Greg Roman, and this is not a knock on Greg Roman because he's a fantastic offensive coordinator, but his greatest successes have been with Colin Kaepernick and Lamar Jackson. So
I know they tried to play Justin Herbert like he was yesterday.
I know.
How many times do they have designed runs for him? Let's go to Mike in West Islip. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Hey, I used to call you and Joe. I'm happy you're back on a midday. I just want to talk about the Bills game right before half.
Yes.
All right. Keep in mind, it's a 3-point game.
Yes.
Okay. Tiki, you're an offensive player.
Yep.
All the linemen have to come set for a second, right? Everybody except for a motioning receiver.
Yes.
So they run in super slow motion where there's 1 second on the clock the whole time, and the right tackle for the Jaguars is still running up to the line to get set. It never went from 2 to 1 in the whole video. So basically, they're having a huge conversation with the refs, and these clowns are forgetting the basics of football.
Right.
They let them kick the ball.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Well, luckily he missed it. So
Thank God he missed it.
There was no consequence, but it was a horrifically officiated moment because he's right. You have to be set for a second. So you're set at 1. You're not set. The ball is snapped. It's an offensive procedural penalty.
Right. Instead, they called it offsides.
Right, because the defenseman hadn't got back. This was all on the wide receiver. Who caught that pass?
Parker Washington
caught that ball. It was a ridiculous throw and a ridiculous catch. Go down. He tried to fight for 2 or 3 more yards, which took about 4 or 5 more seconds off. So it started with the wide receiver, but the way that they officiated it was wrong.
And when they showed the replay, because Washington makes this play, sets it up at the Bills' 42-yard line, they're racing over just to see if Trevor Lawrence can get to the line of scrimmage, spike it in time, and then Cam Little, who they spent the first half putting over, rightfully so, because of his big kick. I mean, he had a 68-yard field goal earlier this season.
And a 67-yard earlier this year.
He's unbelievable. When you see the replay, and they throw a flag, and they call the offside, and there's no time left, every indicator to me was that it's halftime. There was not a second left, and the offside penalty all before the clock hit 0. They review it. They check it out. They're like, no, there's a second left.
Right.
And then
the only way it could be interpreted, this is the only way it can be interpreted, is that because the defense was on the offensive side, even with the offensive procedure penalty, that it's defensive and offside.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
No.
So the defensive
there
offsides.
Wasn't enough time to be set.
So think about this. Think about if it was just they were set. Say clock is not an issue. Right? Clock is not an issue. The offensive tackle doesn't quite get set. The defensive lineman jumps offsides. Right? Before the offensive tackle gets set, it's defensive offsides.
Right.
Even though the offensive tackle is not set. You know what I mean? So I think that's how they interpreted it, but I don't think that's the right interpretation of it, to be honest with you.
And this was explained post-game, and we see this all the time with the play clock. In the NFL rules, you get a half a second beyond the clock strikes to 0.
That is true. They always say that.
Always say it. So when you think about the play clock hitting 0.
It's technically the back judge he's looking at the clock. As soon as it hits 0, he looks down, and by the time he looks down, the ball is still there. He throws the flag.
And you see that at least 6 or 7 times in every game where it appears the play clock has run out, but they give you that extra beat, and the play counts.
This was just through a magnifying glass. We don't realize this happens 9 times a game.
Yeah, I think what was great, though, and I'm saying this not with a rooting interest, because obviously I hate the Buffalo Bills. Forget my picks. Who cares about my picks? I want the Bills to lose. I thought the Jaguars were being gifted 3 points. The fact that Cam Little missed it, I thought at least saved the NFL from this being the story of the weekend.
Right, it's a non-issue right now.
Because I think the NFL overall, when it comes to the officiating, had a pretty good weekend. Doesn't mean it was perfect. Yes, there are calls you can look at and say, hey, how come that wasn't a roughing the passer?
Right, but nothing
for the
egregious.
Nothing egregious.
Yeah.
I think the closest thing to something egregious or something that would cause people to say, hey, that doesn't feel on the up and up, was that moment.
Yeah.
But because Little missed the 54-yard field goal, it turned out to be forgettable.
Right.
I mean, I'm glad the caller brought it up, and we were going to mention it at some point, but it's not the lead story of the game because it turned out to be absolutely nothing. But think about it. The difference in the game was that. I mean, final score is 27-24.
No, you're right.
Everything is completely different if he actually makes that kick. Let's go to Johnny K in the Bronx. Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about that, how long was it going to take you to decide that they weren't set?
Right.
It was like a Senate committee. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But getting back to the Giants, Harbaugh is the easy pick, but he had a bomb squad on offense and lost to the Steelers. Outmanned. He's the easy pick, but I don't think he's the right guy for the Giants. I want a guy who's innovative on a defensive end. I want Flores.
Yeah, well, Flores isn't happening.
Yeah, that one,
not to the Giants. He's going to likely get a head coaching maybe I'm not going to say definitely a job, but he's getting a lot of opportunities this offseason.
I hope so, but I remain skeptical of Brian Flores getting a head coaching job until he does because of the lawsuit. Like, he gets interviews, and he's always considered every year. But and remember, for those that don't, it's okay, I'll remind you, he was my number one choice for the Jets a year ago.
Right.
It was Flores 1, it was Glenn 2, and then I was happy when they hired Aaron Glenn. I'll own that, even though it hasn't worked out so far. But the fact that the Giants are mentioned in the Brian Flores lawsuit as basically giving him a dummy interview, I cannot imagine, forget about hiring him, I can't imagine they interview him.
No.
And you haven't heard his name affiliated with the New York Giants.
No, he won't be.
The thing about John Harbaugh is our last caller is sort of right. Like, he's not the innovative, we're going to get an edge when it comes to X's and O's head coach.
Right.
But he's the CEO head coach. And he's the guy who his track record at least tells you hires the right people. I mean, all you've got to do, and we went through this last week, his resume of defensive coordinators is pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think there are different kinds of head coaches. There are the guys that give you the X's and O's edge, and then there are CEO head coaches. Mike Vrabel is a CEO head coach. Ben Johnson is the X's and O's head coach, right?
Right.
You see the differences. John is the CEO, and I think that's very appealing for where the Giants are right now.
Yeah, but it feels like he has a staff that he trusts and he's comfortable with, and he'll bring them here. And the question is, if that was a similar staff to what you had with Lamar Jackson, is that good enough? And the answer should be yes, because Lamar Jackson has won multiple MVPs over his short, not short, but whatever, his career. And that's if Jackson Dart wins multiple MVPs, the Giants are going to be pretty damn good.
You think so?
So it's like, I know people want to say, oh, he's not the offensive guru. He doesn't know how to innovate and do all these things like Kyle Shanahan does or Sean McVay does or any of that. But ultimately, if your quarterback is great, does that matter?
And think about this, and I think this backs up your point even more so, is that when Lamar Jackson was drafted, he was not a sure thing.
No.
In fact, how many quarterbacks were taken ahead of him? Let me count.
6?
Baker Mayfield, 5? Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen. 4 quarterbacks were taken ahead of Lamar Jackson. You had widely respected executives saying he wasn't even a quarterback.
He was a running back or a wide receiver.
He goes to Baltimore, and while John Harbaugh's not the offensive mastermind, that project that was Lamar Jackson somehow got developed into a 2-time MVP. We kind of have to give credit to John Harbaugh.
Oh,
even if he's not hands-on working with him, he was at least able to hire the right people that turned a project and the 5th quarterback taken in a draft into one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
That's right. And that's all on the head coach. Because if he sucked, Lamar Jackson, you know who would get blamed? The head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan is in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Real quick, I got 2 quick ones. Teak, you played. I think you belong in the Hall of Fame, pal, for sure.
Appreciate you.
Anyway, listen, in the Eagles game, Teak, what's your opinion on how late Jalen Hurts was sliding on that play? Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
think
that was.
I think he knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, these defensive players, they're trained to tackle these ball carriers. He's a running back when he gets going.
Right.
How did they expect him to pull up like that?
Right.
You know?
So, for those who missed this, Jalen Hurts was scrambling. I forget what happened on that drive. I think they ended up scoring. But he was scrambling, and he slides, half slides late. He doesn't fully go down to his butt really quickly because Jalen never really does that. If you watch the Eagles, Jalen Hurts slides very awkwardly.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it baseball style where it's definitive. He's kind of just slowly sitting down. And so the defender is coming in to tackle him, and then Jalen Hurts slides late. Their helmets kind of hit, but not really. They call, unnecessary, whatever it was, a personal foul, rough, whatever they call the play was. But it almost is unfair to the defender. Because what are you supposed to do?
No, I know.
Jalen Hurts is a very viable running quarterback. And your job as a defender is to tackle the ball carrier. Now, if he slides a half a second before you get there, you're already committed to your tackle, and then he slides into your helmet. Why is that on you? So it's a weird interpretation of that rule that I don't like.
That drive ended with an Eagle field goal. It actually gave them a 19-17 lead.
Right.
Then the Niners scored the touchdown, the Christian McCaffrey touchdown run or touchdown catch, and that was the ball game. Who was the guy in college? Because I would employ this all the time. if I was a coach, if I was a quarterback coach, I would tell my quarterbacks to do this. But who was the guy in college who was like at a big bowl game who faked the slide?
No, that was Josh Allen in the NFL.
Josh Allen's done that?
100%.
The fake slide, but he actually doesn't and then takes.
Yeah, that did happen in college, but Josh Allen.
I remember happening like infamously in a college game.
Josh Allen definitely did.
It's brilliant.
It is absolutely brilliant.
I mean, take advantage of the rule.
It should be illegal. This is why defensive coordinators then turn around and be like, knock his right? They start cussing and screaming, knock him out.
Yeah.
It was Kenny Pickett with Pitt.
That was it. Kenny Pickett did it.
But Josh Allen did it too.
Yeah. It's a smart play. I mean,
it was like 3 years ago, Josh Allen. I remember this because he went like 50 yards for a touchdown.
Speaking of Josh Allen, if you didn't hear this or maybe you heard it and you forgot about it, I got to play a clip for you from yesterday's Buffalo-Jacksonville game that I still cannot figure out. So Tony Romo is getting lambasted from most people for his broadcast yesterday, mainly because he got information wrong. He said weirdly obvious things like, oh, the winner of this game, they can win a Super Bowl. Like weirdly dumb things.
But the reason for why they could win the Super Bowl was what got me. Because he's right. The winner of that game, Jacksonville-Buffalo, could win the Super Bowl. But he said the winner of this game has a real chance to win the Super Bowl because this game is so close.
Yeah.
I was like, what? That didn't make any sense.
He had a very odd day. But the things for me as a fan that bother me more about a broadcaster isn't even the odd, dumb things as much as we make fun of it. It's when you're giving me information that changes what's happening on the field.
Right.
So, for example, sometimes I don't notice the flag is thrown, but you hear Jim Nantz or you hear Ian Eagle say, but there's a flag on the field. And it changes your perception of the moment. It almost pauses your anger or enthusiasm to wait for the penalty. So early in the game, Josh Allen rushes for a touchdown. At this point in the game, it made it 10-7, okay? Buffalo was trailing in this game. Josh Allen pounds himself in for a touchdown. The Bills are taking the lead. This is the play where it appeared Josh Allen got hurt and he was all banged up. It was a 3rd and goal from the 3. They did a designed run, and Allen barrels himself in for a touchdown to give Buffalo at the time a 9-7 lead. Okay? Listen to Tony Romo confusing all of us about what the hell was happening after Allen scored what to all of us was just a regular touchdown.
I think he broke the play, and it's a touchdown. He got hit hard, and this is a very physical Jacksonville group. Are they saying that there was no play? Why would the ref come out and just talk real quickly like that? Gene, you saw him do that. That's very strange. It's a touchdown if they're allowing the play, but he came out and said something very fast.
He is, by the way, hurt again. Now he's hobbling as he goes to the sideline. It looks like, yep, they're moving it back into PAT formation, spotting the football at the 15. So it is a touchdown.
And then
Jim Nantz just completely dismisses him.
And then they never mention it again. Because at this point, I'm like, okay, why was Tony Romo confused? He never mentioned it again. So he spends a good, 15, 20 seconds telling us, I don't think they're going to count this for no good reason. I couldn't think of one. And then he's saying, well, look what the referee just did. Right, Gene? Right, Gene? Gene never says a word about it.
No, nor does a camera pan to the referee.
I'm still deeply confused about what Tony Romo thought he saw on why he thought that wasn't going to count.
I don't know if Tony Romo needed glasses yesterday. That was crazy. And then he had the other play over the middle where the receiver clearly drops the ball, it hits the ground.
Yes.
And he's telling the world, he goes, we're looking at it right there. You can't even see if the ball hits the ground. Everybody sees the ball hit the ground, Tony. What are we looking at?
He had a rough day.
It was rough.
Yeah, it was a real rough day.
He had a struggle.
Brady dog walked him later on.
He did. We'll get back to your calls next, 888-808-1019, and how the city of Chicago experienced something that even we as New Yorkers may never have experienced in our many years of sports fandom. It's Evan and Tiki until 2 o'clock later today. The operating engineers of Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. Whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELAC, the Engineers Employer Labor Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELAC representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
This Odyssey Sports Minute is brought to you by Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood plumber.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
The Philadelphia Eagles need to trade star receiver A.J. Brown. Philly loses to San Francisco, gets upset in embarrassing fashion. And A.J. Brown, who has spent time complaining all year, some of it his fault, some of it probably not his fault, drops a couple critical passes in the game from Jalen Hurts, helping the Eagles to lose this game. It's one thing to be dramatic if you're going to win, but to lose, the Eagles need to move on. I'm Nick Costos.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Looking for Continental winter tires? Then head to Town Fair Tire, New England's largest volume discount tire dealer. We've got Continental tires in every size for every vehicle, in stock with more arriving daily, all at the guaranteed lowest price. And when you add the most free services for life, it's easy to see how nobody beats Town Fair Tire for your new Continental winter tires. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ Sense is a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or over cooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then.
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great, but I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The New York Boat Show is at the Javits Center, January 21st through the 25th. Tickets at nyboatshow.com.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
I think the city that closest resembling to us is Chicago. Yeah, they got the 2 baseball teams. They only have 1 basketball team, 1 football team, 1 hockey team, but they're fully represented as a big-time sports city. And Saturday night, they faced something, and I was racking my brain to think if we've ever faced anything similar to this. The Bears are playing this huge playoff game against a blood rival on a Saturday night in their own building. First home playoff game since the double doink. It's not like they get home playoff games every other year.
Right.
Still happens much more frequently than the Jets, but nevertheless, it's a special event. So here the Bears are playing the Green Bay Packers in the midst of an epic comeback, which I don't know if anybody saw coming. In the midst of this, news breaks that their baseball team, their most popular baseball team, the Chicago Cubs, are stunningly signing Alex Bregman to a 5-year contract. What would we do in a situation like that? Like, the Jets are playing a playoff game, and Kyle Tucker signs with the Mets.
Right. I think you still have time to process the Bregman thing because it's not urgent. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not urgent.
Right. You're not doing anything other than just enjoying the shock of it.
You're not seeing him in a Cubs uniform. You're not seeing anything for a while. So there's still time to process. And because the Bears won, that's going to be the story.
It became an epic night.
100%.
I mean, because at the time... Now,
but it's like an afterthought epicness. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, we also signed Alex Bregman.
Yeah. I mean, I look, the Jets specifically, whatever the Mets did, and you know how much I love the Mets, it would be an afterthought because it would be so unique that the Jets are actually playing a home playoff game and pulling off an epic... It would basically be like the Jets coming back on the Patriots.
But it's been that way for the Bears for a long time.
In what aspect?
Having a playoff game.
Well, they haven't had a home playoff game since the double doink. What year was that? 2018, 2017, something of that nature?
Right.
So it's been a while.
But it's even rare with that one.
It's rare for the Jets. No, we win.
No, without a doubt. You guys don't make the playoffs, period. So
we don't make the playoffs, let alone a home playoff game. The closest example I could come up with was the infamous Mikal Bridges trade in the midst of Mets-Yankees. But it's a June baseball game. You know what I mean?
See, this is the problem with problem with Major League Baseball's in their offseason. It's so long and random.
Yeah, it could happen on a Saturday night during a Bear-Packer game.
Right, seriously. Not midweek, not on a Monday morning or whatever. Actually, more importantly, because it's football season, a Wednesday morning.
Right.
It happens in the middle of the biggest game in Chicago in a long time. And I guess you care, but I can't imagine most people cared, especially given how that game was going.
Yeah, I would have major mental confusion. Like, that's basically, my reaction would have been like, I would have been so mentally confused if I was sitting at MetLife Stadium and all of a sudden, like, the Mets made a massive, what I would call shocking move.
Right. Don't they have control over when they release that?
No, because it's leaked to a reporter. I mean, think about it. It's not like the Cubs announced it. It just got leaked out by Jeff Passan.
Evan, this is where I think that you are such a psychopath.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a soul in Chicago that literally cared more than 3 seconds about Bregman in that moment at that time.
I don't know about...
I think after the game...
Right.
I don't know about a soul from Chicago, but I have a soul from Boston, because remember, there was a losing end to this, and that is the Boston Red Sox lost Alex Bregman. Listen to this reaction from Hogdale of Barstool. He's a big Red Sox fan and was watching the game live because Barstool does a lot of those live watches, and there were Bear fans, and there's Hogdale with his Tom Brady jersey, and he's a Red Sox fan. So when you say maybe you don't register it in the moment, here was Hogdale's response to the Red Sox losing Alex Bregman.
You're pathetic! And now we sit here like, okay, well, like an idiot. Oh, I guess we'll go sign Bo Bichette. It sounds like such a cope. It's a feeble, pathetic cope. None of us believe they're going to sign Bo Bichette right now. What, they're going to overextend themselves when Dave Dombrowski's in the market for him? I'll believe when you actually do it. Worthless group of losers. You're a worse team than you were last year. If the offseason ended right now, it's a F. Fix it. You suck. See ya.
Now I needed this to happen during the Patriots playoff game.
You know what I'm wondering, Sean? You may be right. When it's good news, it's easier to say, yes, great, I'll think about it later.
Right.
If it's bad news,
you can't help but react.
Maybe it does sink into the game you're watching. Like, I don't think Cody Bellinger's a good equivalent because you only had him for a year. So I don't know if, like, losing Bellinger in the middle of a giant playoff game would affect you. But let me ask you this. If you lost Aaron Judge in the middle of a giant playoff game, and that, I guess, technically could have happened.
That's a big deal.
That was the same offseason, but Judge obviously did it quickly.
But this isn't the same because Bregman's not. I mean, how long?
He's not. No.
Bregman. It's not as emotionally attached.
No, this would have been like last night if that's when the Devers trade happened at 6-3 Patriots Chargers last night.
But I'm
a homegrown guy.
But I'm asking you because it's not equivalent.
Yeah.
If you lost Aaron Judge in the middle of Giants Vikings,
you'd shift to baseball. 100%.
I think I'd look down, I'd mumble a bunch of pissed offness, and then like a random conversation would happen about it again in my head in the third quarter, and then I'd be fully engulfed in it the moment the game ended. Like you'd be going back and forth with folders in your brain. It would be distracting though, definitely.
Let's get back to your calls. 888-808-1019, the number. Dan is in New Jersey. Hey, Dan.
What up, Dan?
Hey, how are you? I appreciate you taking my call. Evan and Tiki, longtime fan. Love you, man.
Thank you, brother.
I was just calling in about the Jags and Bills game. It's first quarter, 4th and 2. Jags go for it, barely missed it, but you lose the game by 3. This happens in the NFL a lot lately. Yes. I don't know what it is, whether Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City always going for it, now other teams. If you look at Dan Campbell, the Lions record, they had a killing season, and they didn't make the playoffs because they're constantly going for it on 4th down instead of taking the points. And, now, I noticed a lot of teams are doing that. Bill Belichick used to always be, we're going for the points. We're going for the points. We're going for the points. And he always had a successful season,
Let's go to that specific one because you're right. In general, the going for it on 4th down is through the roof specifically. If you go back to which is the game? Oh, the Ben Johnson game.
Yeah.
The Chicago game. Because Ben Johnson was constantly going for it on 4th down. We even saw it in the Carolina game, and I thought it set a terrible tone for the Carolina Ram game when immediately they were going for it.
Right.
And it basically helped the Rams take an early 14-0 lead. But the play you're talking about is an interesting one because Liam Cohen was asked about it after the game, which is, do you have any regrets about going for it on 4th and 2 from the 9-yard line instead of taking the points? And Liam Cohen would, before the reporter was done asking the question, was like, no. And his answer was a good one, which is, this is what we've done all year.
Yeah,
and he's not wrong. He's been aggressive all year.
All year is a regular season, not an elimination game. I'm going home. So this play happened. It was 11 minutes left in the second quarter.
And it was 7-3 Jacksonville.
Jags had a 7-3 lead.
Yep.
And if they just kick the field goal, it's 10-3.
Yep.
And so I get why it could bring consternation to a Jag fan because why are you so rushed to score points right now? Just get the guaranteed points. You've handled the Bills so far for the first quarter and some change. Why are you so worried that you're gonna need to score points upon points upon points this early? And so I would have kicked the field goal because 2nd and 2 it's not 2nd and 1. You know what I mean? It's not like second and or 4th and 1 or 4th and inches. There's a lot of yardage you have to try to pick up here.
And remember what they did? They ran an option with Trevor Lawrence. They called it as if he got it on the field, and then McDermott threw the challenge flag, and it was overturned because his knee was down as like slightly before the first down marker. So it was close, right? But they ran with Trevor Lawrence on the previous play on 3rd and 12. They ran with Trevor Lawrence, and he came up just a few yards short.
That was a scramble.
That was a scramble. This one, I think, was a tush push. Or was a design run?
No. It was a zone read. So he faked it inside. He
the 4th down play.
The 4th down, and he came back around the edge. The DN was gone. It was a great play because the guard was supposed to get up and block the linebacker. He didn't get through. And so Trevor Lawrence is one-on-one with the linebacker, and he just kind of like, oh, crap, and he slips and falls short by a half a yard or whatever it was. And, those type of moments only matter when the result is the other team going and scoring a touchdown. Now, they had 90 yards to go.
92 yards they went.
But guess what happened?
They scored a touchdown.
The Buffalo Bills go and score a touchdown. So instead of being potentially 10-10, you're now 10-7.
There are two things that made this worse. You hit on one of them. So when you fail on a 4th and 2 from the 9-yard line, the positive is, all right, you're making your opponent go 90-plus yards.
Yes.
Negative number one is that Josh Allen made it very easy to go 98 yards. Yes. He did it very easily. They faced 1 third down during their march down the field. But you know what also made it worse? And this is like air out of balloon if you're a fan. You tell me if it's air out of balloon if you're a player. Jacksonville got the football in that possession because Ray Davis fumbled the kickoff return.
Right.
So Jacksonville,
blank.
Yeah, Jacksonville scored a touchdown and go up 7-3. Great. Buffalo fumbles the kick return, and we're talking about Ray Davis, who's had a tremendous season. And so the Jaguars are set up at the Buffalo 35. At minimum, you got to end up with 3 points. So I thought the other kill was you get this unbelievable possession, like a gift from the gods, and you turn it into 0. Can't happen.
So that's my other coaching mantra. If you steal a possession, get any points you can. A turnover is a stolen possession, especially when you're already in scoring position. Get whatever points you can get because treat it as if it doesn't count. It's free. I got some free points here. And so instead of taking the free points, Liam Cohen basically said, no, thanks, I don't need it.
Yeah.
That you're right. You reminded me because it was a turnover before. I kind of forgot. When you get a turnover, just score points, man.
It makes it even more of a reason to just take the points.
100%.
Because you cannot have an empty possession when you had a gifted possession based on a fumble from a Pro Bowl special teams player. Let's go to Vito in Wantagh. What's up, Vito?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. So, Evan, I'm with you 100%. Watching those games yesterday as a Jet fan, I mean, it's pathetic to see how bad we are. So, I'm thinking, how do we get Mendoza? How do we get up to number 1? Before you guys laugh at me, hear me out.
Yeah.
I've been seeing online that the Raiders are heavily scouting offensive linemen, that they're quote unquote not married to Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
So how about the Jets offer the second pick, the Raiders' choice of Membu or Fashanu for the first pick, and the Jets' 16th pick?
Wow.
Jets get Mendoza at 1. Raiders get their choice of their top offensive lineman at 2. Now they've rebuilt their offensive line, and they can use a 16th pick, let's say, on Simpson or somebody who's still out there.
So we're going...
Feasible, not feasible? What do you think?
Well, I don't think there's any precedent to that.
It's well, you're giving up basically 3 first-round picks.
Yes.
You're giving up the pick swap of 1 and 2, and then you're giving up number 16, and I would consider Olu Fashanu as an extra first-round pick.
Yes.
If you're trading any of your
young.
first-round tackles that you drafted the last 2 years, it's like a surplus of first-round picks.
Yeah.
Would I be willing to do it? I would for a franchise quarterback, but I heard something this morning that to me has ended all fantasy of the Jets getting Fernando Mendoza. This has ended all fantasy that this could happen. I'm going to play you a clip. This is from the Heisman Show podcast. Fernando Mendoza was a guest and was asked the most cliche question known to man. Who from the past or the present would you want to have as a dinner guest? Now, Mendoza was very carefully said, look, I don't want to do the past. So let me just because I'll forget somebody, it'll offend somebody. Let me just pick somebody from the present. Fernando Mendoza's answer is a death sentence for New York Jets fans. Ladies and gentlemen, Here's Mendoza's answer to the one dinner guest from current time that he would love to have. Okay.
I would say my dream dinner guest is Tom Brady. He's someone that I've looked up to my entire life, and I really not only love his play on the field, but his resilience and the way that he's conducted himself throughout his career. I was actually born in Boston, lived there 1 year for my dad when he was in medical residency up there, and he's been a special role model for myself and a special, idol. My role model, my idol is my dad and my mom, and I love them to death. However, football role model to follow is always Tom Brady, as he's had such a resilience, and that's a thing that I think the Hoosiers have shown great this season, whether it's Iowa, Oregon, or Penn State. Resilience has always shown up, and that's something that I do attribute to watching Tom Brady growing up.
Yeah, we're dead. I mean, he's just told you the owner of the team picking number one as his dream dinner guest. It's over. It's done. Fernando Mendoza's a Raider.
But if you're a really good quarterback on any team, you're going to see Brady more than you would if you were the Raiders quarterback.
That's a good point.
That's a great point.
Because Brady will be calling games, or maybe Fernando Mendoza. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
He's playing the game.
If the New York Jets had the first overall pick, would he not say, I started my career playing defensive back, and I loved Aaron Glenn. He was amazing for the Jets. I mean, my dad took me to New York for again, completely false story. Took me to New York one weekend. I said, hey, I want to go to a football game. We went to a Jets game. Aaron Glenn had 2 interceptions, and I was infatuated with him ever since. And now he's the head coach of the New York Jets, and New York is the place to be. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. I would love to sit down in Per Se or some Le Bernardin, some great restaurant in New York City and have dinner with Aaron Glenn. What if he said that?
It would be so over the top. It's such an obvious lie. Like saying Tom Brady is your dinner guest is like, oh, it makes sense. His best route, if he wanted to kiss the Jets' ass, would believe it or not, would be Joe Namath. It would be, my dad told me football as a kid, and the story I just can't get over is how no one thought the Jets could beat the Baltimore Colts.
That's so there's no belief. There's no belief that that's real.
Dude, he's an old soul, that Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I mean, Fernando Mendoza saying Tom Brady, though, is a death sentence. And by the way, I'll give you breaking news off of your glass break, and it does involve the Jet quarterback situation. What's the kid's name from Nebraska?
All right, Dylan Raiola, the kid that looks like Patrick Mahomes, and everybody thinks is Patrick Mahomes, but he doesn't play like Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
He is transferred to Oregon this morning.
And that would make you think he knows that Dante Moore is indeed coming out of school, despite what was a brutal effort in the national semifinal. So Dante Moore being in the draft, and I'll remind this for Jet fans, whether the Jets take him or not, or you want him or not, is a good thing. You want options. You want the possibility of trading back if someone else likes Dante Moore more than you, or maybe you take Dante Moore. So whether you like him or you don't like him, it is a good thing for Dante Moore to be in this draft. And this is at least an indicator, I would certainly take it as an indicator, that the belief is he is going to come out of school.
Yeah, and you never know. There could be deep down the Raiders preferring Dante Moore. Don't tell the Jets that. And then that caller's wish of trading up, then that presents that possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
you don't know if the Raiders can get more too and get more capital?
But that's a fantasy.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I mean, come on. That's certainly not happening. The other piece of news that's more negative towards the New York Jets is that Trinidad Chambliss, and you may remember this on Friday, it was rejected by the NCAA, him looking for another year of eligibility.
6 year of eligibility because he was 4 years at Ferris and then 1 year at Ole Miss.
And I brought up to you guys, is there a chance he appeals this? I don't know how the process works. Well, according to Pete Thamel of ESPN, Trinidad Chambliss is actually hiring a prominent Mississippi law firm with ties to Ole Miss, and they are going to file suit in the state of Mississippi against the NCAA. They are filing a complaint later this week with an effort to secure both a preliminary and permanent injunction.
Wait, so what's the reasoning?
To get another year of eligibility.
I know, but on what grounds?
He's
played 5 years of football. Was he aggrieved because he went to a little tiny school and it doesn't make sense.
The NCAA issued a statement denying a 6th season. The NCAA concluded the insufficient medical documentation provided to support the request.
So he applied for medical, meaning one of those 4 years that he was at Ferris, he didn't play because he was hurt.
And you know what this headline can be? The headline of Trinidad Chambliss is going to sue the NCAA to get another year of eligibility. Mm-hmm. The headline's going to be, young quarterback sues so that he isn't drafted by the New York Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it's going to sound.
That's exactly what it's going to sound like. But if he makes it clear that he doesn't want to be a Jet, you don't think the Jets are going to draft him?
No, you have to draft. You have to draft the talent.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I don't think you give in. I think the Eli Manning case and the John Elway case.
It's a different era, too.
It's a different era, and it was very, very unique. Let's go to Mitchell in Queens. Hey, Mitchell.
Hey, guys. How are you? Good morning. So, Evan, I don't know on your list of who to root for, not root for. For me, it's got Ben Johnson. You cannot root for him. I mean, the guy is so disrespectful. He is so hard to like. Like, before he comes in and says anything, he's just dissing everyone in the division. I'm just curious, just you guys from a standing back standpoint, like, does Ben Johnson turn you off?
Yes, he's turned me off from the beginning, but my bias was the arrogance of rejecting even an interview with the New York Jets. But you're right. Like, since his opening press conference, when he said, I just love beating LaFleur twice a year, he comes across very douchey. Now, to his credit, he's done a wonderful job. He's had a great first year. He's helped turn that franchise around. But yes, I find it really difficult to root for Ben Johnson. I can't be alone, Tico.
Well, I mean, I don't mind him because I know how good of a coach he is. And at the end of the day, if you're a good coach, you can get away with being a jerk. And he's a good coach.
It's not considered bragging if you can back it up.
That's
Isn't that
100% right.
Isn't that a Limp Bizkit song?
Right. What do you say? Enjoy beating. Did he beat every team in the division twice?
Did they sweep the division? I don't believe it.
Well,
well, they didn't beat the Packers both times.
Yeah, now he did.
But they beat them the second time, the third time.
He still got the 2 victories against LaFleur.
So I would assume they beat Minnesota both times.
But he never
remember.
But he never talked about
it. Doesn't matter. But
any of those guys. He spoke up specifically about LaFleur in his opening press conference, where he said he likes beating them twice.
They lost to the Vikings in week 1.
Okay.
So he didn't beat Kevin O'Connell twice.
That was the only week J.J. McCarthy looked good.
The Chicago thing, the Ben Johnson LaFleur thing is very strange because there's no backstory. And we've all looked into it, like, what's the backstory? And there really isn't. Other than, I guess, him shooting towards the top or maybe looking at another young offensive-minded head coach and just saying, I want to beat him. And maybe it's a compliment to Green Bay because the Packers have had a lot of regular season success and certainly a lot of success over Chicago over the last 6 years. It's not a personal thing. It's just a random thing.
I agree. I don't think that that's a personal slight. I think it's just you're the Green Bay Packers. You're a historic franchise, and he wants to put the Bears back on the map by beating the best franchise in the division. And that's the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. As much as we think it's the Detroit Lions, that's a recency bias thing. Historically, it's been the Green Bay Packers, going back all the way through Aaron Rodgers and through Brett Favre. So if you're a head coach of the Bears and you're saying, I want this team to be great, the team you're talking about beating is the Packers.
Absolutely. It's a compliment.
So, right. Exactly.
I think, and we did this on Friday, and our last caller referred to this. We put together a root chart, like the teams that we're rooting, and we're ranking them, and it's all individual preference. Obviously, if you put money on a game, that will change who you're rooting for. But I can tell you right now, looking ahead to Chicago against Los Angeles, the Rams against the Bears, and it's amazing to say this because Matthew Stafford's won a championship. Sean McVay's been to 2 Super Bowls. Sean McVay is 57 times more likable than Ben Johnson is. So when you talk about, yes, I respect Ben, he's great at what he does. He is great at what he does. Sean McVay's great at what he does. And Sean McVay comes across like a good dude. So I know when I'm sitting there watching that game, what day is that game, Sean?
That is Sunday. Everybody's up in arms about that.
Yeah, because they're screwing everybody on time off, which is unfair.
Screwing the 49ers. Oh, well, we need division.
Well, they're not the only ones getting screwed. A lot of teams are dealing. The rest could have been handled differently by the NFL, but we'll address that later. I'm rooting for Sean McVay. And it's not just because he's a ginger. I just think he's a more likable guy. You don't think he's a likable guy?
Is he really a ginger?
Yeah, he qualifies.
Does he?
Sean McVay, Thomas Jefferson.
Isn't he blonde?
Evan Roberts. What?
I thought he was blonde.
Blonde is a variation of gingerness.
No, come on.
You're stretching.
Stop it.
No, he's a ginger.
That is not true at all.
Sean McVay's a ginger.
He's not. Okay, now I got to look. And now I got to check to see if blonde is a version of ginger.
Well, no, it's a variation, but he's genuinely a ginger.
He's strawberry blonde?
Blake Griffin, too. I can tell you who qualifies as gingers. If you have just a little bit of ginger in you, you're a ginger.
How do you know he has a little bit?
Because come on.
Well, his name is Sean McVay. He's definitely Irish.
Trust me, Tiki, I keep track of this stuff. We'll get to your calls coming up, 888-808-1019. And Tiki's response, because I am very curious where he stands on the viral clip that is causing a ruckus in the NFL community involving a reporter and Liam Cohen. We'll get to it coming up. It's Evan and Tiki as we take you up till the Carton Show at 2 o'clock.
By the way, I think you're right. He is ginger. If you're looking to level up your wardrobe, check out Collars & Co. You might have seen them on Shark Tank where they landed a deal with Mark Cuban. They're the team behind the dress collar polo that sold over 1 million shirts. Now they've launched the Maverick Performance Blazer, and this thing is legit. Sharp, lightweight, and completely wrinkle resistant, which makes it perfect for travel. You can just pack it up in your bag, and it comes out looking fresh. Plus, they have really cool features like security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So hit up collarsandco.com. Use code Tiki for 20% off. That's collarsandco.com.
This portion of the program is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Ray Katina, Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
Just one drive in a Mercedes-Benz, you'll understand why it's a gift that keeps on giving. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration lives on at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Choose from over 500 vehicles and experience the love during the extended Holiday Love Celebration at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
It's Dunkin's World and you're living in it, which means breakfast is easy and costs $5 with Dunkin's $5 meal deal. You get 6 crispy hash browns, a wake-up wrap, and a medium hot or iced coffee. Whatever your mood calls for. Bring your friend, your brother, your mother, your cousin, or just bring yourself. Because at Dunkin', they make deals for everyone. Get Dunkin's $5 meal deal only at Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation in times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Hi, it's Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a very happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And while that's not an easy thing for me to achieve, my friends at CertaPro Painters had no such problems. Big jobs, small jobs, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone with BetMGM's second chance promotion. You'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
It's good to let it out by calling the WFAN Sports Fan Helpline. 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Paramount Plus to stream every NFL on CBS playoff game.
Are the New York Mets legitimately in on Kyle Tucker? We'll give you all the information coming up a little bit later on in the 12 o'clock hour. We'll break down tonight's game later as well. The Pittsburgh Steelers against the Houston Texans. And, of course, Sean's got his Cinco de Luncho coming up in about an hour.
This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. The news of the morning is out of Green Bay, where Adam Schefter is reporting the plan is for the Packers and head coach Matt LaFleur to work out a long-term deal. LaFleur would be entering the final year of his contract, and his lame duck status led to plenty of speculation about whether or not he would be out following their collapse versus the Bears. This Fan Focus was sponsored by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
The plan is they want to keep LaFleur, but they have to work out a contract with only 1 year left before his contract expires. And as I mentioned earlier, who knows what LaFleur wants? He very well could look at coaching free agency and say, I could get there. I could really force the Green Bay Packers' hands. But yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it over the next couple of days. And I do think now that Nick Sirianni appears safe, that Matt LaFleur appears safe, the Buffalo Bills won a playoff game, we will officially do our NFL head coach bingo game tomorrow, where we officially make our predictions on where all of these head coaches will end up. Because we were held off last week because of the possibility there'd be more vacancies. I think tomorrow we should be safe. Now, there's a big controversy going on, and I'm curious your opinion on it as somebody who's stood there and done press conferences and has answered questions from media members. Yesterday, after the Jacksonville Jaguars lost their brutal game to the Buffalo Bills, Liam Cohen was not exactly asked a question, but this exchange occurred between him and a Jacksonville reporter.
How you doing today? Lynn Jones, Jacksonville Free Press News. I just want to tell you congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank you.
You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank you.
And you did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you
it.
just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, my reaction is that was hilarious. There is a lot of controversy, specifically from reporters who are angry about this. Why? Saying, that's not what a reporter is supposed to do. You're supposed to ask a question. You can't be doing this. So what's your take on this?
Or it's a small town in a small market, and this reporter wanted Liam Cohen to know how her constituents felt. I don't have a problem with this. There's humanity. Why we got to be so hard-nosed all the time? Ask the hard-hitting question. I don't mind this at all. Not one bit.
How would you have responded to this?
I'd have said exactly what he said. Thank you, ma'am.
That's just it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. That's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
You knucklehead from north of the Mason-Dixon line don't know how to say thank you. You say kiss my ass. You got a problem with this. Instead, it's just what people in the South do. It just is what it is. Like it's something you come to expect, accept, and if you got a problem with it, deal with it.
Yeah, I happen to be on your side because while I love hard-hitting questions and I love that moment that we played last week of Chris Russo saying to Mike Milbury, how do you still have a job? And the hard-hitting questions that Joe Shane faced, and I'm all for it.
Right.
I think this is okay once in a while.
Yeah,
right. It's totally fine.
It's
funny.
Because she's right.
Yeah.
This team sucked last year and the year before because of the circumstances, and the year before that because of the coaching stuff. And it's just, they've been in a bad spot for a long time. They won 13 games I mean, I know Tony Romo said, this team is for real. Of course. They won 13 games, Tony. Of course they're for real. But it's just like when the Jets get good, when they win 13 games in a season.
I'd do this.
And lose in a playoff game, and Aaron Glenn is standing up there, and you happen to be there. You're going to be like, Aaron, I know it sucked to lose to the Buffalo Bills in the first round, in the wild card round. But, man, that felt awesome. Thank you.
You know what it would be? And I bet you he would do it. Maybe not after a loss, because losses are very difficult. Right. Maybe after the completion of a regular season. I could see Joe B going to that press conference. Let me just tell you this, bro. This team's been a freaking disaster for 20 years. Yes. You got us out of the abyss. I got to thank you, bro. Now you better get it done next year. I'm not going to be back here next year celebrate. But that I could see. That would be our equivalent of, I forgot. She said her name at the beginning. I think Lynn Jones was her name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our Lynn Jones equivalent in New York would be Joe thanking a Jet head coach for making the playoffs and then ending it with the dire warning of, you better win next year.
That'd be the best question at the press conference.
Joe did that. I'm surprised how many people got sensitive about it, because I've seen like reporters all over social media like deeply bothered and offended by that's not a reporter. That's not what a reporter should do.
My biggest argument I've seen a lot of reporters push back in is we all have deadlines this waste time. That was 30 seconds. I mean, are we serious that was like a big time waster? I don't know, man. Somebody is nice for once and we're going to get all over it. I don't understand the issue.
Yeah, as long as you're also being pushed for the tough questions. Like,
right. That couldn't be the whole press conference. You could have 10 people telling you good job, good season.
So what I tried to do with all of these games this weekend, because you never know what you'll find, is I listen to every post-game press conference. And I listen to Liam Cohen's.
Good for you.
Thank you. And that's why I quoted earlier, he was pushed on the going for it on 4th and 2 from the 9 instead of kicking the field goal. And again, he was pushed on it. It's not like Liam Cohen walked in and everyone was like, oh, let's give you a back massage. You're amazing. Like, he was legitimately pushed on that decision. And so is the media as rough as it is in New York? No one's suggesting that. But as long as all the questions are being asked, it's not a big deal if this one woman just said, hey, I want to put you over because this opinion represents a good amount of Duval. We're happy. We love you. Thank you. And I also found it entertaining. This is the third time I've listened to it. It makes me laugh every time.
Of course. It's so polite.
Yeah. And like it almost felt like Liam.
It's so unexpected, actually.
Very unexpected.
Which is why I think it's even more awesome.
I think one of these New York reporters has to do it to a local coach or manager this year.
And Liam Cohen kind of looking down and looking up. It kind of reminded you, your dog ever go on the carpet and then you're like, all right, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. That's what it felt like. Liam Cohen's eyes reminded me of the dog after that.
That's funny.
And here's the truth. Even for Lynn, and even in a city like Jacksonville, you got your 1 year and you did a nice job. You better win.
Of course.
Like, eventually, it's not going to be like this.
Now there's an expectation that you win.
1,000%. And I think you look at the Jaguars roster, not just the quarterback, but pound for pound their roster, and you say, yeah, you better win.
Right.
And that doesn't mean win a championship next year, but it's win a round,
he's
win
off
a couple of rounds.
He's off to the right start because you are a rookie, first-time head coach. You go 13-4. It is so much better than the alternative, which is 4-13. Like, it just feels so much better. And you're not racing to get to 500 for the rest of your career.
Right.
Right. So he's got a pretty big head start on how people are going to judge him based on his record. Because that's what we do. Ultimately, it always comes back to your record.
All the time, man. 888-808-1019. Chris up in Michigan. Hey, Chris.
Evan, Tiki, you guys, great show. Sean, I want to tell you something. Even though sometimes you hit the wrong buttons, you keep your head up. You're having a most magnificent show. Thank you.
Thank you, young man. Thank you.
All right. So I originally called about the Bregman signing during the game, but I wanted to touch on a few things. Like, first of all, Chambliss, I think it was a sophomore year over at Ferris State up here. Tiki, he did medical red shirt. So I think he does have a little bit of a gripe to be able to do that when other players do that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Especially jumping from Division 2 to Division 1 and stuff. And he wasn't even a great quarterback in high school. He's gotten so much better literally every year. I think it's kind of cool to see. But then I wanted to ask you, too, that very last play when Bishop got the interception in the Jaguars game, do you think they could have called pass interference when the defender was hooking, I believe it was Jacoby Myers' hip right there?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Do you think they could have called that?
You can, but they tend to get away with this in the postseason. Who was it? I can't remember now. he got beat early, the cornerback, and then he had an interception late and later in the game. I'm forgetting his name now, but he was getting away with. This was in the Eagles game. He was getting away. Mitchell. He was getting away with
2 interceptions in the game too.
But he kept
Quinyon
getting
Mitchell.
away.
Yep.
He kept getting away with pulling the receiver just slightly. He would pull the very bottom back of his jersey, and that looks like nothing when you watch it, but it allows him to pull himself into coverage. You know what I mean? And so, should it have been called 100%? But they're not going to call that in a playoff game. So the answer is you're not getting that call. In these moments.
I always err on the side of keep the flag in your pocket.
Yes.
And that's not always the case, because I think one of the most infamous missed calls maybe in NFL history is the non-pass interference in the New Orleans Saints Los Angeles Rams game.
Right.
And so obviously that's your outlier. That's your egregious example. But 9 out of 10 times, I think most of us, I don't speak just for myself. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say err on the side of just don't throw the flag.
Right. Unless it's so obvious you can't not throw it.
Dave is in Rockville Center. Hey, Dave.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good to talk to you again.
Thanks. What's up?
Evan, I'm going to direct this question towards Tiki because I don't think he'll hang up on me in 10 seconds. I want to.
You never know.
I want you to just let me set this up. I want to talk to you about McDermott's decision to not bleed the clock down with a minute 6 left or a minute and 4 left. Okay, let me set it up. So here's the context. The Jags have the longest kicking field goal kicker in NFL history.
That's right, 58. Cam Little.
Yep. The current NFL kickoff rules put a team in field goal range after like 2 or 3 chunk plays, or in that kicker's case, maybe 1 chunk play.
Right.
We know about the Kansas City Chiefs 13 seconds game that McDermott screwed up. You as an offense have 3 timeouts, 64 seconds. The defense has no timeouts. You're on the 6-inch line, and you got 4 down. Why? What is wrong with taking a knee, let the clock go down to 25 seconds, 26 seconds, and either run your play or call a timeout? You got 3 downs to do it. You got 3 timeouts to do it. Why do these coaches prefer to hope that the other team doesn't score over taking the game? They want you to score, so there's a reason why they want you to score.
Yes.
So you're doing what they want.
Right.
3 downs in the 6-inch line, you have to take a knee there. I mean, top-level quarterbacks are in the playoffs. If you're facing a top-level quarterback, if you face Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, or Joe Burrow, or even the top quarterbacks that are in the playoffs now, if that interception hadn't happened,
well, look,
you're gonna either get that game tied or you're gonna lose it.
So here's the reality, and you set it up. You basically gave yourself the answer at the beginning. Cam Little has made a 68-yard field goal.
Also missed one earlier in the game.
Yeah, but that was shorter. He just kind of pulled it, right?
Okay.
It had nothing to do with the length. And so the Jacksonville Jaguars have 3 timeouts at this point. So if you go on a knee, they're calling a timeout, right?
No, they had just burned their final timeout.
They burned their final timeout.
Correct. So this was a chance.
3 plays prior.
They burned their 3 timeouts. That's what I meant. They burned their 3 timeouts.
They used their last timeout right after the review that had Allen down at the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
So there was a minute 5 to go. They just used their final timeout, and now Buffalo has a new set of downs at the 1-yard line.
And so Buffalo can either take a knee and let the clock run, and then you're going to let it run again. Mm-hmm. So you're losing a yard every single time you do this.
And you can, if you're Buffalo, milk it to the very end if you want.
Of course, but you're losing a yard every time you do this. Now you're going to have to, on 3rd down, I guess, try to score a touchdown after losing 2 yards. So now instead of being on the 6-inch line, it's on the 2.5-yard line. Mm-hmm. Right? Are you positive you're scoring from the 2.5-yard line? Because you have to score a touchdown.
Well,
I think the downside of not scoring is worse than the downside of having Trevor Lawrence go, in this case, 15 yards after the kickoff to get Cam Little and 70-yard field goal range.
I think you would do it once. So with 1:05 to go, after Jacksonville uses their timeout, you would kneel one time. You'd kill the 40 seconds, which gets you down to about 25 seconds left in the game.
Okay.
And at that point on second down, you have to try to score.
Okay.
You've milked as much clock as you can.
So let me throw a hypothetical.
Yep.
Bad snap.
Yeah.
Or Josh does something happens.
Well, I got the obvious one, and this is the biggest one to me.
False start.
No, that's it. A false freaking start, which is so easy to have happen.
100%.
And now instead of being at the 1, you're at the 6.
Right. And there's
now
24 seconds left, and you're now third down or second down, and you have to score a touchdown.
That's why, even with the idea of I'm only doing it one time, I'm milking the 40 seconds, the false start would scare the crap out of me. Right. And you can't tell me that that's a guarantee to not happen. I mean, there are times on a football field in which everyone knows they're not snapping and they're trying to draw you off sides and you go off sides.
Right. Yep.
So there is no guarantee you're going to avoid the false
start.
There
are circumstances like that where the offense jumps off sides and they know they're not snapping the ball.
Yeah,
so
it's Evan's best argument. Spider crawls on the back of a left tackle, you screwed 5 yards.
That's right.
It's more so than the bad snap or the I can't get in at the 1, because I get it. The odds are very, very low. The odds of a false start and pushing you back those 5 yards, it's high. It happens all the time.
Right.
So I get it. I see the other side. I think I started this show much earlier saying I don't see the other side. All right, fine. I see your other side.
Right, but at the end
Score
of the day,
a touchdown.
They won the game.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Yeah, no, it's just one of those. You know why? You know why these arguments are good, even though it turned out to be irrelevant? Next Saturday or Sunday, the following Sunday.
Right.
Like you have these arguments because you know it's going to happen again. And so you kind of go through it, you flesh through it, you give your sides on it. Because I'm telling you right now, there's going to be another playoff game in which there's going to be a debate of should you let them score or not. It's going to happen. Let's go to Richie in Queens. Hey, Rich.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, on that play, too, good point, because you don't know what's going to happen, and you can't assume that you're going to have the shot again. And the other side is I think they knew that the worst that can happen is they can tie us. You know, Tika, if I'm thinking they're only going to be up 2, and this guy can win it, then we say, whoa, do we really want to give him the time? So
that's right.
At that point, and Ev, I heard that interview with Russo, with Milbury, when he says, welcome aboard, Mike, and how do you keep your job? I thought it's one of the funniest openings I've ever heard.
Oh, 100%. And that's why we used it recently, because Art Stapleton asked Joe Shane a much neutered down version of that, which is, how do you still have your job? So if you missed it, you can find it in the Evan and Tiki podcast. We took Chris's infamous, how do you still have a job, Mike? and placed it over the Joe Shane question. Let's go to Alone in New Jersey. What's up, Alone?
Hey guys, how are you?
What's up?
I used to be Jordan in New Jersey when you were at the afternoon hour, but my alias is now being listed.
Fair enough.
That's great.
I wanted to see how you liked your afternoon midday. I would think that it would be the best one to have because you could have breakfast at home. You could then be at home for dinner with your family. You could go to a sporting event that night. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, my God.
I mean,
What a question.
It was all good until opening day for the New York Mets got moved. It was all good.
But it would still be worse if I was on from 2 to 6:30.
True.
So you're asking
it would be unavailable if you were on from 2 to 6:30, unless you skipped the show like you did 2 years ago.
I didn't
skip. Spike cussed you out.
I didn't skip the show. I missed 2 hours of a 4.5-hour show. That's the truth. That's the reality. People say I just missed it. I didn't miss the show. I missed 2 hours. And by the way, I was on for 15 minutes before Spike ran me off on the phone. So technically, I was on the show for 1:45.
That's true.
I think that being able to be with the family in the afternoon and night is like the greatest thing in the world. So yes, I'm a big fan of these hours.
Yeah.
I knew that though when they moved me back in 2020, but it was one of those things where I'll make good, this afternoon thing will work out, and then you mentally get used to it because I did it for 6 years, but it took like an hour of the new time slot for me to remind myself how awesome it is.
Oh, I get to take my daughter to school, and then I get to be an Uber driver with Tracy because it's all cheer practice for us. And now I get to help.
You are right. Like, it is mostly being an Uber driver. Like, that's what being a parent is after the hours of 3:30, and certainly on Saturday. Like, I spent Saturday driving everywhere. I drove to a birthday party. I drove back to my house to pick someone up, my other kid up. Then I drove to New York City for a piano recital. Then I drove to dinner, then to the recital, then to home. I said to my wife, I've been in the car for 13 hours.
Right. Yeah, my car has like 10,000 miles over my lease.
Of course.
And I'm not even joking.
I get it. Let's go to Dominic in New Rochelle. Hey, Dominic.
Gentlemen, what's up?
What's up?
One point and the other is a question from my guy, Tiki. First, on the 49ers, I don't think Shanahan gets enough credit on the job he has done this year with all the injuries.
No, 100%.
Especially on defense.
100%.
He has a great record on the road, playoff wins. I think he's the best coach in the NFL as of now. He hired a great staff, especially Salas at DC. That's a perfect example of a guy who just isn't a good head coach, but a great coordinator. And you got John Lynch, head of operations there. That's the ideal situation I would want for the Giants, to hire Harbaugh, get a well-known, really good DC in there. And this is a question for Tiki. As a diehard Giants fan, Tiki, I don't want to bring this up, but what's the worst playoff? Talking about bad playoff losses like the Packers.
Yeah.
What's worse playoff loss for you?
Well,
your rookie year against Minnesota or 02 49ers?
It's interesting because I could throw in my last one too against the Eagles, but just because it was my last game, and I felt like we could have and probably should have won that game, but the Eagles bested us. So that one hurt because it ended my career. But honestly, I didn't know anything from anything back in 1997 when we lost to the Minnesota Vikings. And that was Fossil's first season, and we won the division. We hosted a home game, and then all of a sudden, it was over. But I was also 22 years old, and in my mind, I'm saying, all right, this is fine. This is easy. It's easy to get to the postseason. I think the hardest one, and it's the 49ers lost. Because we were really good that year. And we showed it because we were dominating the 49ers until we weren't. And I think we could have beat Tampa and whatever the NFC Championship game would have been. I think that was the one that I hate the most.
Now, Sean, as the Giant fan, would you agree with Tiki as the player who competed in these games assessment?
Yeah, 2002 was, to me, the worst loss of my lifetime. Period. Stop.
It was worse than the Packers loss. It was a big. We were beating them by more than the Packers were beating.
And
the Bears.
The Giants that year were the classic team that got hot at the right time. They went undefeated in December. 4-0, and that started
and dominated people.
Exactly.
I remember we went to Indy at the end of the year and destroyed them.
It's almost, I want to say it's forgotten because I'm sure Giant fans will yell at me. It's not forgotten, but it feels like the Viking one he brought up is like so bad, but yet maybe the 0-2 one tempers it. You guys were up by 9 with like 2 minutes to go.
It's the onside kick.
And you lost on an onside kick.
Yeah. But the onside kick being botched is what everybody remembers.
Well, of course, because the only way you would have lost that game is not recovering an onside kick, and obviously that's what happened.
Who won that year?
In 97?
That would be the Denver Broncos against the...
Was that the Falcon year?
The Green Bay Packers.
Oh, Packers.
And was that their perfect season? I mean,
that was the first of their 2 Super Bowls.
No, Denver, you guys beat Denver the next year.
That was the perfect season.
Yeah.
98 was when they started perfect and they lost to us.
Yes.
So, but they didn't win the Super Bowl again.
Yeah. Denver was trying to win a back-to-back championship, and they lost to the Green Bay Packers in 97. And then 98, Denver got there. No, I'm sorry.
No, I
got that wrong.
You got it backwards.
I got it backwards. My apologies.
Green Bay was going back-to-back.
Green Bay was going, right, because Green Bay just beat New England.
Right.
Green Bay was trying to go back-to-back. Denver won, which I remember as a kid being excited about because an AFC team won a Super Bowl, which was very rare back then.
That's true.
Think about that run in the 90s.
Yeah.
And that was my lesson to football, like growing up in the early 90s.
Cowboys.
Well, the Bears are before my time. That was 85.
I'm just trying to think of all my era. It was like Cowboys, Bears,
Niners,
Redskins, Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's true. I didn't realize how dominant the NFC was.
The Bills losing 4 in a row really fluffed up it, too.
Well, I think the Broncos winning that Super Bowl, now that I'm remembering it, is the first time in my lifetime I ever saw an AFC team win. Because the NFC team won every freaking year before that. Like, I'm trying to remember the previous AFC winner prior to Denver doing it in 97. Because you had the Niners win, you had the Cowboys win, you had the Giants win, you had Washington win, you had the Niners win.
It's in the 80s.
87, no, was the Niners. 86 was the Giants. 85, holy crap. What was the Raiders?
I got to look at
it.
Was the 83 Raiders?
Yes, it was, because I remember that.
Wait, so let me get this straight, because now my brain is telling me this. So between 1983 and 1997, the NFC team won every single year. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Are you on the computer fact checking?
I'm looking at it.
So 97, Green Bay, I'm going backwards now.
Yes.
Green Bay, Dallas, San Francisco, Dallas, Washington,
Giants,
Niners, 49ers, Washington, Giants, Chicago, Bears, 49ers,
Raiders.
84. And that was the one. That was in my list of memorable games. Remember?
That's right.
Because that was the Marcus Allen going left and then right and about the middle of the field for a 60-something yard touchdown. Yeah, the Raiders were the last one in 1984.
That's crazy. So for me, as like I was a teenager at the time, I was like, oh, finally an AFC team won. Yeah, for me, it was only about a 5-year sample size. For those that were older, it was a 13-year sample size of the same conference winning every single season. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. All right, that little move down memory lane was brought to you by our friends at Town Fair Tire. Remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. From Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. The best part of Wild Card Weekend. We'll tell you what it is coming up, plus more of your calls at 888-808-1019. And a deeper look at the Mets' pursuit of Kyle Tucker. Is it real? Evan and Tiki on the Fan.
Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency carrier system. There's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas, so get yours checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them right now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by February 11th and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
This is Nick Costos with a Sports Minute sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Old Trapper, what's your beef? Don't be surprised if the Green Bay Packers move on from head coach Matt LaFleur sooner rather than later. The second half collapse on Saturday in the playoff game at their hated rival, the Chicago Bears, was something else. Feels like these two sides are headed for a breakup. He will immediately be one of the most coveted coaches available. I'm Nick Costos.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me, just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then.
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Fun is in the driver's seat at Nielsen Dodge. Get a great deal on the new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, or Ram you really want with 0 down payment available, plus the credit help you need. Shop online at nielsendodge.com. Start something new sales event.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering,
so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mostly sunny and breezy, high 43.
Weather brought to you by Staples. 2026 is here, and at Staples, deals mean business. Like up to $100 off custom print orders. Head into the new year looking good for less. Staples. That was easy. Ends 1/31.
Nissan trucks and SUVs are built for next-level adventure. Too much gear? Dirt? Rock? Sand? Get in a Nissan truck or SUV and feel unstoppable. Whether you want to take your next level of adventure in the Frontier Dark Armor, the Pathfinder, the Armada, or the Rogue, you'll be ready for what comes your way. Nissan. #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to in-mat credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 2/2/26.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ Sense is a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Costos, and watching sports isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And my show is not a job, it's a passion. From the NFL playoffs to the NBA and everything in between, celebrate sports with me every day on You Better You Bet from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. Download the Odyssey app now and listen to Westwood One Sports from anywhere. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos, live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Wild Card Weekend was an awesome success. We got one more game, which we'll get into a little bit later on. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers taking on the Houston Texans. I remember a year ago, Wild Card Weekend was a disaster. Like, all the games were bad. They were non-competitive. Mm-hmm. And we came in on Monday saying, yeah, that sucks. You know, you wait all year. It's the playoffs. We no longer have to watch the Jets and Giants stink it up. But this weekend was brilliant. And it was brilliant for 2 reasons. A, all the games were competitive until the very end. Obviously, the Patriot-Charger game wasn't great.
Right.
And we touched on this a little bit earlier, but the best thing that also happened is there is no top story that questions the integrity of the sport. Mm-hmm. And that seems to happen a lot in the NFL these days, where the thing that the national audience is talking about is some kind of bad call that calls into question the integrity of the game. It doesn't mean everything was flawless. Were there a couple of calls throughout these weekends of games where you could say, hey, that was a personal foul, or that was this, or that was that? Sure, it's never going to be perfect. But you walked away talking about the actual football. You walked away saying, that was great, that was entertaining, debating the legacies of Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and how good are the Patriots and coaching. But you aren't talking about the officials. And that's a victory. And I think that, to me, is almost the pseudo-headline of how great Wild Card Weekend was.
Right.
It's actually about football.
But I also think it still feels also kind of wide open. It's hard to say, like, this team is going to be it used to be Kansas City Chiefs, they're winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
And if they don't, at least they're getting there. I can't say that about any of these games.
I agree.
I have
clinched
zero
it.
idea.
We clinched officially 2 new teams in the Super Bowl yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
And how
exactly
often,
right, which is awesome.
And how often do we, A, get that, or B, officially get that after Wild Card Weekend? Usually there's at least one team, Kansas City, who takes it all the way to the championship game. We are sitting here on January 12th with an entire divisional round and championship weekend in which we know for sure we're getting a new Super Bowl. And I agree with you, Tiki, and I remember bringing this up back in October to you, or November. This is the most wide open the NFL has felt maybe in 2 decades. And that's not an overstatement because we just had 2 dynasties, the Kansas City Chief dynasty and the New England Patriot dynasty. And as long as they were around, even if they didn't get there, even if they didn't win, things felt like it wasn't wide open. But now, of course it's wide open.
And if it's that wide open, who's to say the Jets next year aren't the Commanders last year with Dante Moore?
All right, calm yourself down there. Now you took it a little too far.
I mean, honestly, though, he's joking with you to troll you a little bit, but if you're one of those teams that's been struggling, why not believe that?
No, this is the year that should point you to that.
The Bears stunk a year ago.
The Patriots sucked last year.
Exactly.
I know why you're saying it. I'm just going to feed right into what you want me to say. If anything, it's a reminder that the Giants can be here next year. Like, if you're a Giant fan.
Yeah, because you have the quarterback, you have some good
and the
pieces.
new coach, which there's so many examples of. Ben Johnson in Chicago, Mike Vrabel in New England, where, hey, just get the right coach in and everything can turn immediately. And I think the Bears and specifically the Patriots are such a great example of that. So if that's what you wanted me to say, Sean, you got it. If you're a Giant fan, you should watch this and say, this can be us.
Not to mention Mike McDonald's only in his 2nd year.
You're right.
Yeah.
As a Jet fan, I watch this, and you know what I say? We're a million miles away.
Okay.
So thanks for that.
Again, you could say I was trolling Jets.
I can see why he feels that way. Just because what's here that you're building on?
I'm just saying,
year?
You have the 2nd overall pick. What if you pick? Look at all these young quarterbacks that are winning games.
But there's still going to be a rookie.
That's why I specifically brought up Jaden Daniels last year.
Okay.
Because that started this.
Yes, but Caleb Williams, 2nd year.
Yeah.
Drake
all
May,
right, so you know what?
2nd year.
You're 2 years away. After you fire Glenn and the rookie establishes themselves.
We're going to be fair to you, Evan.
Yeah.
2027.
That's what I'm
You'll get Clint Kubiak in 2 years.
Yes.
And then you're off and running.
That's much more reasonable. They're going to draft a quarterback. It's going to be a disaster this year. Glenn is gone. They'll hire a new coach. And in 2027, we are primed to turn things around. I do want to commend, before we get to your phone calls, the winner of Twitter and information from the weekend that wasn't football. And if I gave you 100 guesses, you wouldn't get it.
No.
And this is a football-related tweet that I think was the most interesting thing I learned over the weekend. And the person I want to give love to is John Heyman. John Heyman. Are you aware of the Shaq Thompson fact?
No.
So Shaq Thompson, obviously linebacker of the Buffalo Bills, had an interception early in the game.
Yes.
And before that, spent many years with the Carolina Panthers. He is a 8 or 9 year NFL veteran. Shaq Thompson played baseball. And back in 2012 was an 18th round draft pick by the Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
That's all interesting enough. But I gotta take it to another level. He played 1 year of minor league baseball. Okay? 1 year. Shaq was a center fielder. Good athlete, played center field. He played 1 year of minor league baseball as an 18-year-old in the Red Sox organization and had 39 at-bats. He has singly the most impressive major league or minor league baseball stat line I have ever seen. I have never seen anything like this. Are you ready? Let's hear it. Shaq Thompson in 39 at-bats went 0 for 39 with 37 strikeouts.
I guess there's a reason he didn't stick with baseball.
Dude.
Sounds like Giancarlo off a rehab stint.
Tim Tebow did better than that. Michael Jordan did better than that.
I mean, clearly he was also playing football.
I don't care if you're also a ballerina dancer.
Yeah, but think about
39 with 37 strikeouts.
But think about how physically jacked up you are if you're a football player,
bro,
and how tight your muscles are. Like, there's no way you have a fluid baseball swing. What did he play? Catcher?
No, he's a center fielder.
Center fielder, so he's an athlete.
Dude, 0 for 39 with 37 strikeouts.
It's almost impossible.
That's my point. It's the most impressive stat line I've ever seen. So now, as the Buffalo Bills go on their playoff run, whenever I see Shaq Thompson, I'm going to think to myself, I'm a better hitter than him. Because I almost think if I had 39 at-bats in the Gulf Coast League, I think I'd be able to make contact more than twice.
Not anymore.
Am I correct? Well, not anymore. I got a bad back. I could barely walk.
You're telling me like a 22-year-old Evan Roberts, I think, has a better minor league career, yeah.
I think you'd have a better minor league career.
My bat speed slowed down in high school, but you're probably right.
Now, that's not to say that Shaq Thompson didn't play a mean center field. I mean, maybe he made diving catches.
Maybe Stearns would have loved his run prevention.
Maybe.
I needed to find an image of him.
As a baseball player?
What did he look like as a baseball player?
I have just ruined the image of Buffalo Bills football for a lot of people for the next few weeks. Like, anytime Shaq Thompson is mentioned, now you're going to think about 0 for 39 with 37 strikeouts.
Oh, if he drops an interception next week, just go swing a bat again.
I just can't believe how bad this is. Because John Heyman tweeted it like, hey, Shaq Thompson, he played minor league baseball and was really bad. So, of course, what I did is I went on Baseball Reference.
Of course, you had to look.
0 for 39 with 37 strikeouts. He did walk 8 times. So, in fairness, there were 8 different examples in which he was able to get on base. Let's go to Matt in Bayshore. What's up, Matt?
Hey, guys. Great show as always. Happy to be able to follow you guys to midday.
Appreciate it.
Couple things. I do appreciate the little troll at the Buffalo Bills there with your baseball statistics about a guy who had an interception from the defense yesterday. But I am a very relieved Buffalo Bills fan. The defense did bail them out yesterday a little at the end of the game there. And having said that, Josh Allen cannot have a mistake-filled game like he did yesterday. If you can indulge me on a separate point, I tried to get a hold of you guys last week. I have an idea kicking around my head about how to combat tanking in the NFL.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I think, all right, so, and I think it kind of translates across all the major sports, honestly. And I will acknowledge that this is a far cry from happening because it would require a commissioner who would do something unprecedented. My idea is this. What if you took, say, the bottom 3 teams of the league and instill some sort of financial relegation? In other words, a radically diminished percentage of the shared money. I think that would go a long way of hitting these owners in the pockets. It might even compel certain owners in baseball to reinvest into their teams on the field if there is a financial incentive to do so.
The reason I don't like it is because I don't want fans fighting amongst themselves about the priorities of ownership. Is it money or a better draft pick? Like, I think what you have to do is just no longer stick having the worst record with having the number 1 pick. You have to change that, because as long as that remains the same, many fans, and I totally get why at the end of seasons, are going to say we're better off losing so we can get the better pick.
Right. It has to get into a fan mind that losing or winning at the end of the game doesn't matter to something that's happening 5 months from that moment.
Yeah.
And I think the stability of the NFL and what we were just talking about, let's call it the parity of the NFL, is because any team feels like they're on equal playing level with any other team. And so how you manage that is up to you. You can get creative, like Howie Roseman, who gets a ton of credit for the creative cap management that he does, re-sign his players and bring in free agents. Like that's individual to a team. But I think as a whole, all 32 teams feel like in any given year, we can find a way to compete.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the case in Major League Baseball.
Couple of thoughts on Buffalo. I feel more committed today than I did 3 days ago that this is the Bills' year and they're going to the Super Bowl despite a lot of the challenges they're going to be facing. And the latest is Gabe Davis being out.
Right.
And Josh Allen is kind of losing his targets, if you will. But one thing that's going to have to change next week in Denver is this Jacksonville game was the irremovable force versus the irresistible object. James Cook had an unbelievable year running the football this year versus the number 1 run defense. And he got shut down.
Yep.
I mean, the Jaguars did a great job. They're going from playing the number 1 run defense to the number 2 run defense.
Right.
So I don't know how much you're getting out of Cook
and
next weekend in Denver.
And the team with the most sacks in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, you're facing another elite level defense. And a lot of this is just the vibe thing. This is his year. Like, he's conquered the demons, and at least he did it in the regular season, which I know he's done before, and not having to face Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow in the postseason. But having to do it on the road, which is now official, like they will not host a home playoff game. That was possible if the Chargers went on a run.
Good, close that dump.
It just feels like this is the kind of year that they go on the run and get to a Super Bowl. And I stand by it. I feel more convicted about it today than I did 3 days ago.
I mean, I guess so, but again, it still feels so wide open to me. It's so hard for them, their path. They're going to have to go through it.
Dude, it's wide open. I mean, I think the point spread for this game against Denver is basically a pick 'em.
Yeah.
I think maybe they're actually laying a 1.5.
They are. They're favored.
But either way, I mean, Vegas is showing you what you're saying, and I still agree. It's wide open. I just think if I had to pick the team that's coming out of the AFC, and I don't say it with a smile on my face as a bitter Jet fan, I think it's them. But unfortunately, Jet fans, we're in a really tough spot. Because think about who's remaining. We got 2 teams from our division and Aaron Rodgers.
So I didn't even think of the Jet prism because when you got done talking about it being so wide open 15 minutes ago, I looked down. I was like, man, as a Giant fan, I don't care who wins it all.
Yeah.
Now the Eagles are out.
Yeah, you're in a great spot because your division's been wiped out completely. I've got 2 teams from my division and Aaron Rodgers, which is why, the Texans going to the Super Bowl would make me very happy.
True, because you don't care.
Yeah, I'd be like, whatever.
You know what? F the Texans. Hope they lose big time tonight.
Yeah, because I see because you want me and Jet fans to be in pain.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
How selfish of you, Evan.
Bro, if the Steelers win today, I want you to keep this in mind. If the Steelers win today, 75% of the remaining AFC teams cause pain to Jet fans.
Okay. How about this one to throw back at you? You know what the Texan run does? It just gives juice to all the Astro fans that have already laughed in all the Yankee fans' faces.
I don't care.
All the Astro fans are Texan fans. The Houston thing, I don't want the Astro fans happy. They're Texan fans.
Oh, you mean not relative to the Giants?
No, but now relative to the Yankees?
Yeah.
F the Texans.
I mean, come on. That's really the stretch you're making.
That can't be the reason you're
They've already won
anti-Texans.
their championships in baseball. They don't deserve a football one.
Tiki, I'll explain.
The Yankees have won their championships, and the Giants have theirs.
They're very dusty now, Tiki.
What Sean is doing is he hates the Jets, and he knows that Aaron Rodgers having success causes anger to Jet fans, and he knows that either the Patriots, the Bills, or the Steelers being in the Super Bowl.
I thought you were over
I'm over it, but I don't want to see him go to a Super Bowl. I mean, those things can all be
Why?
true,
He's
right?
already gone to one before.
Yeah, but it's in the post-Jet world. I don't want him going to a Super Bowl in the post-Jet world.
You know what?
Sam Darnold bothers me less than Aaron Rodgers going to a Super Bowl.
How long ago was Brett Favre here?
2008.
So 15, 17 years ago?
Yeah.
15 years from now, Jet fans aren't going to remember Aaron Rodgers was a Jet.
No, you're dead wrong about that.
Just trust me.
I would trust you.
They're not going to remember.
You don't think we're going to remember him jogging out there with the American flag and tearing his Achilles 3 years into his career, 3 plays into his career?
Not going to remember.
You're very wrong.
And if he doesn't, that means you've hired terrible coaches over the next 15 years.
Well, okay, that's a nice little variation. If the Jets went on and had great success, it will probably make it a little bit easier, but I don't think anything will delete that part of Jets history. It's going to last forever. Nico's in Brooklyn. Hey, Nico.
Hey, guys. Good afternoon. Hope all is well.
What's up, man?
I'm pretty good, man. Just a quick question to the both of you because I really want to hear what your thoughts and opinion are on it. It's regarding Justin Herbert and whether or not would you consider him a smidge overrated, or are the Chargers kind of wasting his prime by not putting like a good supporting cast around him? And the reason why I'm saying this, on TV, the dude doesn't look like he has a big frame, and the amount of hits he's taking, I don't know, like, how he's going to, be able to bounce back up after so many hits like that.
Yeah, look, he is a bigger kid. I know he looks small on TV, but he's a big kid. And you do worry a little bit about the hits that he's taken, but not nearly like you did the narrative around Jackson Dart, because he's not reckless when he does run the football. The thing I'd worry about with Justin Herbert is who's the great player that's playing with him? I mean, seriously. Who is the Hall of Famer that's playing with Justin Herbert on offense? And you're going to be hard-pressed to find one.
Yeah, the shell of Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, but what is he, 34?
No, that's what I said, the shell of him.
He's also not playing at that level anymore. He's in his mid-30s.
Right, and he started the season fantastic. But he's 34, so guess what happens? Attrition. It starts to affect you a little bit better.
I think that, and you tell me, because you watched the tape, this is my impression on Sunday night's game with Justin Herbert. And I am in no business of making excuses for him because Justin Herbert has come up small in every big opportunity he's been given, including last night. Last night specifically felt like a no-chance game. It felt like his offensive line was abysmal.
Yeah.
It felt like his receivers were never open. And it felt like not that I'm exonerating him, but a lot of last night was on everyone else too.
Right.
He was in a no-chance situation, and maybe that's a credit to New England and a credit to what they were dialing up against him.
They had a better plan.
But it felt like he had no shot last
Evan,
night.
I showed it to you. It's just I looked at what Justin Herbert was looking at. I'm like, why did he not get rid of this ball? Because that's what Sean said when he first came in, and we talked about this game last night. Was, man, it felt like none of his wide receivers are open. It felt like there was nowhere, especially in the second half after the halftime adjustments. It felt like there was nowhere for Justin Herbert to go with the football. That's because the Patriots defense was so confusing. It looked like one thing, and as soon as the ball snapped, it's something like diametrically different.
Right.
When you have a cover 4 shell look, and then at the snap of the ball, it's cover 0. It's like, what do I do? And they have good man coverage players. The Patriots do. Christian Gonzalez is one of the best
who is in concussion protocol.
Right. And so all of those players played at a heightened level, and they knew they had a X's and O advantage over the Chargers, and it showed. And so in that case, you need someone who can win. You need a Jamar Chase or a Justin. You need someone who is just, I'm throwing you the ball even though you're covered, and I know you're going to go get it.
Right.
Justin Herbert doesn't have that.
Now, with all that said, Justin Herbert in the big spot is atrocious. So I ain't exonerating him. He's got a lot to prove, and I think the pressure's only going to build year after year after year, especially when you have regular season success, and then you show up in the postseason, and it's a disaster.
Has he won a playoff game?
No, he's 0-3. Now, all 3 games have been on the road.
But it doesn't matter.
But one of those games, he had a 27-0 lead,
that's
right?
He did enough offensively versus Jacksonville. Well, I shouldn't say that. I learned my lesson with Russell Wilson in Dallas. He did enough in theory. The defense blew it, and then he couldn't make a play late in that game.
Right. But ultimately, that's Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton was a really good regular season quarterback.
Great comp.
Got to the postseason and could never win.
And that is going to continue to build and build. All things aren't created equal. Like Josh Allen hasn't won the big one. But in fairness to Josh Allen, I've never walked away from any of his postseason losses and said, boy, that's really on him.
Yeah, that's his fault.
It didn't feel that
And he's
way.
also an MVP. And he was been close in a couple of the years besides the one that he won.
Lamar Jackson was more in the middle. Like there were some postseason games in which you walk away and say, hey, that wasn't the Lamar Jackson MVP player. In the case of Justin Herbert, he just hasn't. He hasn't given it to you. It's been 3 playoff games, and they've been all disasters.
Now, this guy ended up with 2 playoff wins, I believe, but I feel like it's a lot of Romo Cowboys in the Chargers. These great regular seasons, electrifying plays from the quarterback.
I feel like Romo's failures were like epic, though. It wasn't just kind of
like just no ho hum, like they always just were like the pressure was on and it was a mistake.
But you know what else the Chargers need to do, and it's much easier said than done because this was their opportunity. They got to win a division. Because when you win a division, at least you get a home playoff game.
Yeah, but that doesn't, I mean.
He hasn't had one yet.
I know, but that doesn't matter in Los Angeles for them.
Well, yeah, he'll never play a home
honestly,
playoff game.
They won't.
You're right.
They don't have when I say that, I'm not saying it flippantly. They don't have a fan base.
I agree. It's not the same as the Packers having a home playoff game or even the Texans having a home playoff game, but it would help. Because wouldn't you rather be at home without a home field advantage than having to go to freaking Foxborough?
Oh, without a doubt.
So it's not even that I'm going to have some super advantage. It's that it's better than having to do that. That's not an easy place to play.
No, you're right.
And that made me sick last night. Like, the Patriots deserve, no offense to their fans, many of them are good people, you deserve 30 years of miserable football. The fact that it took you 5 minutes to get back, host a playoff game, have an electric atmosphere, like, dude, you just had a dynasty.
I know.
Like, look at the Bull fans. They're getting what they deserve. They have a dynasty, and they've gone 26 years in which, they've had some good teams, but they haven't gotten nearly as close to what they were. The freaking Patriots are back.
Yeah.
They could win a Super Bowl this year.
Singing Living on a Prayer together. The arrogance was totally just filled.
Awful, man. Let's go to Darren in Tallahassee. Hey, Darren.
Hey, Evan. 2 points. Tiki, you and Spider Lockhart are my favorite Giants.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Evan, you made a mistake. You said irremovable force versus the irresistible object.
Yes.
It's an immovable force versus irresistible object.
Dude, here's the problem. I have quoted that Gorilla Monsoon line my entire life, and for whatever reason, since I've used it to refer to the Bills' run game against the Jacksonville run defense, I've screwed it up every time. It's like a new mental block I'm dealing with. Let's go to Mike in Nyack. Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? One thing for Tiki. Tiki, on the Buffalo, the last drive of the Jacksonville, were you surprised that at 4:10 they got the ball at the 14-yard line, Jacksonville, and they threw it right into the end zone? Shouldn't they have killed that clock? They got 8 plays to run right there.
Yeah, I did.
And
it surprised me a little bit.
You're going to tell me you're going to leave almost 4 minutes on the clock for Buffalo, and they're not going to score?
Yeah, it reminded me. It's not the same, but there are certain moments where like trying to score aren't as important as running the clock, and they were just on the edge of it. If it would have been 3-something, I would have said absolutely. The score is not important as running this clock down and preserving your lead and being less aggressive. So the challenge is they didn't make the plays when they needed to, and the Buffalo Bills did.
Here's the challenge. When you get the ball back with a minute to go and all you need is a field goal to force overtime, and you happen to have a kicker with as much range as anyone in the league, you can't throw an interception on your first play.
Right.
That's a fail. Like, I know if I'm a Jaguar fan, there'd be a lot of things I'd be kind of living through. You know, the failed go for it early in the game we talked about earlier when they got the gift from the gods of an extra possession because Ray Davis turned the ball over on a kick return. Yeah, sure, I'd be living through that. But what I'd really be living through is you have the number 1 overall pick from a few years ago. You've got your franchise quarterback and you're down by 3 with a minute to go and a kicker who can make one from 68. You have got to be set up to, at the bare minimum, force overtime.
Yes.
And you didn't do it. And so that would be the thing that I would take with me this entire offseason. Trevor Lawrence had a wonderful season, but with the chips down and the game on the line with a minute to go, and all I need is 30 to 40 yards. I don't need to go I'd like to go the length of the field. It means I win, but at the bare minimum, I could set up a game-tying field goal.
You know,
it took one freaking play.
You know what's interesting about it? It's because I think in Jacksonville, this is a massive overachievement. No one thought they were this good going into the season. They have some talent, obviously, from Hines Allen as a pass rusher, and Travis Etienne had a fantastic season. Who was the Raider that they got? The wide receiver.
Oh, Jacoby Myers?
Jacoby Myers. He changed their offense, by the way.
They didn't even have Travis Hunter. He got hurt.
I know. Exactly. And Campanile, who was the defensive coordinator, just turned a bunch of average collective players into this one of the top defenses in football. So this was a massive overachievement. So we on the outside are looking at them and we're lamenting their missed opportunities. Internally, this is probably that's a hell of a start.
It is a hell of a start, but I will remind you of an adage I have for all the teams I root for, and I would apply it to any team in sports. You never know when you're going to get back.
True.
And I have been humbled by that a million times, whether it's the 24 Mets or it's the Kevin Durant Nets or it's the Jets being in back-to-back title games. And I would kindly say that to a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. Like, Trevor Lawrence could tear his ACL week 1. And I'm not rooting for that, obviously. I want him to be healthy. I'm not rooting for injuries. I'm just reminding you that sports is unforgiving.
Yeah.
So when you have an opportunity like a home game, in a game that you could have won, that you should have won, you got to take advantage of it. Because if you don't take advantage of it, you don't know when you're going to be back. I said that to Giant fans after you guys got spanked by the Eagles a few years ago. It was a great year, right? What a wonderful year. Who thought if I told you in September we'd be in the second round? All that beautiful stuff. You got spanked and you haven't been close since, which is why when you get close, you got to take advantage of the opportunity. Speaking of close, how close are the Mets to actually signing Kyle Tucker? The latest information on that, plus a lot more of your football calls at 888-808-1019.
You guys know how busy I am, traveling around for football, traveling around with my daughters, always on the go. I value feeling safe. More importantly, I want my family to feel safe. Tracy gets nervous when I'm not home with her. So I turned to my partners at Sloman's, and they installed the Sloman Shield Link system, which is unbelievable. It takes care of everything I need done in my house and combines safety, convenience, and peace of mind. And I can do it all from the palm of my hand with my smartphone. I think the thing I enjoy most about this system is that if I forget to lock my door or turn on my landscape lighting just to give the appearance that we're around, I can do it with the snap of a finger, and everything feels like I'm protected and safe, even if I'm halfway across the country or all the way on the other side of the world. I love the cameras. I love the garage door opener. I really love the Apple Music connection. I can walk into my house and turn it on right from my phone. You too can experience this. So experience the future of home security and automation with the Sloman Shield Link system. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME or visit slomans.com.
This portion of the program is sponsored by your local Mazda dealer.
Make the smart choice, the Mazda CX-5. With standard all-wheel drive, advanced safety, and effortless handling. There's more to a Mazda than meets the eye. Lease your 2025 Mazda CX-5 for only $209 a month and elevate your journey wherever the road takes you. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hi, it's Sal Licata here for CertaPro Painters. You know, my home is a very happy place, especially when my wife is satisfied. And while that's not an easy thing for me to achieve, my friends at CertaPro Painters had no such problems. Big jobs, small jobs, the good folks at CertaPro Painters are at your service. If you've been putting off a painting project, give them a call at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The playoffs are here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the very best. If you're ready to pop the big question, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. Why not explore their beautiful 2x London collection, offering something for everyone's budget? So just drop in, mention WFAN. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let London Jewelers be a part of your very special journey. Visit any one of their 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
Your best year starts with a savings. Don't miss the January Jumpstart event at Nielsen Dodge.
That's right, Chels. We're ready to start your new year with low lease payments to get you driving.
Lease a new 2026 Dodge Durango GT Plus all-wheel drive Hemi V8, just $299 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 4x4, just $359 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
With 0 down payment and the credit help you deserve.
Come see all the great savings we've lined up so you can start your new year driving happy and hassle-free. Let the fun begin.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at nielsendodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
At Nielsen Dodge.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Start something new sales event. With approval term Durango 36, Ram 42 months. Due at sign Durango 55.99, Ram 59.54. Add tax tag $498 dock and DMV fees.
If you're sitting in traffic, you need to do something. Might as well call the fan. Let's chat about it now. Call the WFAN Sports Fan Helpline at 888-808-1019. Powered by Paramount Plus. Count on Paramount Plus to stream every NFL on CBS playoff game.
I don't know about you, but my stomach is starting to growl. And when our stomach growls this time of day, we need a little luncho.
Sean Morash in the booth, somebody hide the castle. Optics flying, phones ringing, Evans yelling, no! Tiki's laughing, chaos cracking, nobody's in control. It's Cinco de Roncho. Bam! Crunch! Let's go!
From all those football treats, everyone. It's a Monday lunch hour. Cinco de Luncho is brought to you by Helix Wireless, connecting everything, everywhere. We had arguably the best wild card weekend of all time. I think you can make the case for that. Certainly Saturday felt like the best wild card singular day in a long time. So I'm just going to rank the games in order, the best games of wild card weekend. And, of course, we still have one more tonight.
Here we go! Number 5.
We were all tired for Chargers, Pats, let's be honest. Now, it still was a 3-point game at halftime, but no scoring. It's dead last, worst game of the weekend.
Yeah, that was the tryptophan game. You know, we ate all the turkey. We had all this great meal. And I am still not in love with the Sunday night playoff game. I kind of know they have to do it, considering the amount of games we have. And then you combine it with the fact that the game sucked, and it never even felt close, despite it being a one-score game, because the Charger offense was so pathetic and so immovable. And then, obviously, there was no drama in the final few minutes, so that's an easy number 5.
All right, here we go.
Number 4.
I'm putting the 49er-Eagle game here, and I think it's because of the other 4 games. This was the only time, or the first time before Chargers-Pats, that the team to lead at the 2-minute warning hung on and won.
And
the other 3 games did that.
As soon as that graphic went on the board, I knew the Eagles weren't coming back.
Yeah, it felt like that, right?
That was the ultimate,
Yes, of course.
Because the graphic came up and said, every game this weekend, the team leading at the 2-minute warning is lost. As soon as that happened, I was like, wow, all right.
Now, I do think we might look back at this game a little more importantly historically. I kind of think, and a lot of people don't realize it yet, that might be the beginning of the end for this Eagle team.
Sean, I love you, and I appreciate your hatred for the Eagles, and I appreciate all your attempts to troll Eagle fans last night. Let me just tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to spoil it for you. They're going to get a new OC, just like they did 2 years ago. It'll be a good hire. The Eagles will win the division, and they'll probably be in the Super Bowl next year. It's rinse and repeat with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Until
Think
it's
about
not.
it.
Until it's not.
But think about 23 and what
And they have
happened.
such good talent.
They do.
Like
So
Saquon rushed for 100 yards. Devontae Smith was good. A.J. Brown was okay, but the drops were worrisome. Jalen Hurts, he was okay.
You know what else they have? And this is where Sean can't argue. Howie Roseman versus Joe Shane. Drop the mic.
First of all, I'm not even arguing Joe Shane. This could be the Cowboys. This could be the Commanders. My point is the Eagles are going to lose, or they're going to get rid of A.J. Brown, which could be a positive for them. Saquon's another year older. You saw Lane Johnson get hurt. He's getting older. You saw they couldn't even do the tush push as much down the stretch with the interior of their offensive line. And the bill is going to start to become due with some of these tolling contracts.
This sounds like Evan in 2010 talking about the Patriots.
Fine.
Meanwhile, the dynasty had 9 more years
It
left.
sounds crazy until you realize you were right. All right, here we go.
Number 3.
I'm going Bills-Jags, and I think I'm punishing this game for being 1 o'clock in the afternoon because it was fantastic, but it felt like it took me a little while to get supercharged and invested into this, but it was a wild and wacky fourth quarter with lead changes.
That's my number 1 game. I'm stunned that you put that at 3.
But think now, now this is where we're going to have the argument about perception. You watched the Saturday night games, the Saturday games not in real time. You just mentioned you had all that other family stuff going on.
Don't use DVR as an excuse.
No, because I do think it's
you're
true.
right. The Saturday games were outstanding.
So let's get to that.
Number 2.
Rams-Panthers. And the reason I'm bumping this ahead of Bills-Jags is this was a 10.5-point underdog where that team who was dogs was on the verge of a major upset and had the lead under 2 minutes. Now, did I think the Rams were winning at the end? Of course I did. But that comeback, starting with McVay's decision on 4th and 3 to go for it and not get it, that was insanity. Like, we were on the verge of one of the big NFL postseason upsets of all time until we weren't, which is why I put it ahead of that game.
Okay, keep going.
All right, and last but not least.
Number 1.
It's Packers-Bears. The comeback was epic. And anytime the comeback is that sweet, it's got to go up there. It's a rivalry game. I know I say I want domes. It's in Chicago. It's a Saturday night. Fans going nuts. Like, that was as an emotional, great playoff game as I've seen in a long time. How could I not make it the best of the weekend?
So this is the debate of if like I'm talking to a wrestling fan. Is the better WrestleMania the one that had the best main event or the best card, like the entire show? The entire show of Jacksonville-Buffalo was the best game of the weekend because it was never a 2-score game. The biggest deficit of the game, if I'm not mistaken, was always 4 points. So it was always not only a 1-possession game, Teak, it was always close. And so, unfortunately, what happened in the Chicago-Green Bay game, as great of a game as it was, and yes, it wins for best ending, 1,000%. There were people who probably shut the game off.
See, I don't get that. When the Packers,
not me, but I'm sure people did.
When the Packers missed that field goal to end the half, at least everybody I was with, you just sense the Bears are winning this game, aren't they?
No,
and that's the feel it had at halftime.
Yeah, the Bears just because they were this way all season long. Like, if you don't know the Bears, you're like, well, the game's over. But if you watch the Bears
Bears all year.
All season long. They just found, even the Giants game was the same thing. Like, they found ways to come back and win football games. And so you knew it wasn't over, even if it felt like they have no chance to come back against the Green Bay Packers, a team that knows them, just beat them, whatever it was, week 16, I think that game was, of the regular season, which led to the handshake thing that happened after this one where it was so quick because
he didn't want to get patted on the back
because LaFleur did the same thing to him in the week 16 week. I love the drama between these coaches, but like, I didn't think the Bears game was over. In fact, I knew that they would some way mount this thing closer.
I didn't think it was over, but in both the Ram-Panther game and the Chicago-Green Bay game, there was a point in which it felt like, this could turn into a blowout. When the Rams went up 14-0 early, I thought it was going to be a blowout. I was convinced, all right, this is over.
Right.
Now, did they both turn into wildly entertaining games? Absolutely. I'm not putting them down, but I thought pound per pound, if you're judging the entire 3 hours, Jacksonville-Buffalo was the winner. And it also gave you a great ending. It's not like the ending sucked. It gave you the debate that we're still having today on the show about, do you kneel? Do you go for it? Do you score the touchdown? Like, I honestly think, and again, it's a great weekend. I mean, we're picking between beautiful things. I would say Buffalo, Jacksonville's number 1. I'd put Chicago, Green Bay 2.
Yeah.
I don't want to penalize it
No.
for the first half not being entirely close or the first 3 quarters not being close. But
Evan, honestly,
for the full 3 hours, man, it's Jacksonville, Buffalo, bro.
If you put the same plays, same score, same everything, but you put them in Bills and Packers uniforms at night at Soldier Field, I'm probably with you. I think that Jacksonville's getting punished because it's Jacksonville at 1 o'clock, and it's not a rivalry game.
And the other thing, just to defend myself on being on DVR, the thing about DVR, because I heard Craig giving Big Mac a tough time for this, and I actually agree with Craig, because Big Mac went to sleep and didn't watch the national championship semifinal game, the classic between the U and Ole Miss, which I don't know how he fell asleep during that game.
Yeah.
When
Fell asleep. He's got to wake up no time early.
I know.
Did he fall asleep or just didn't watch it?
Maybe it was a combo. When you watch something the next day, I agree with you. Like, it loses something. I was watching something on delay. Like at 11 o'clock at night or midnight is still fresh. To me, it feels like it's happening. So I never lose anything just because I'm a few hours late. If it's the next day and I already know the result, I completely agree with you. I think you lose something, and sometimes I do that. I prefer not to. But when it's a few hours late, and it's still the night of, I don't lose an ounce of it.
You say that, Evan, but you do one of two things when you watch sports these days. Either you're watching a game with somebody, or if you're watching by yourself, be honest, every commercial break, maybe you check in the online scroll, social media, like everything was a buzz. No matter where you were, you lost all of that by watching that game on delay and being distracted from the world.
Disagree.
Okay.
But we're learning. Sean and I are learning. We disagree. Now we're going to move on.
Yeah, because our audience doesn't need to hear us bicker. We got a half an hour less on the show. Let's keep moving. Speaking of which, Evan, how about this? The Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. So we were all focused on football over the weekend, but Buster only dropped the spicy meatball as the football craziness was going on. He says the Yankees now operating under the assumption Cody Bellinger will sign elsewhere. This as Bellinger and the Yankees are at an impasse over length of contract. A pivot plan is unclear for the Pinstripes, but according to Olney, they remain engaged on both Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker, as well as trades.
Yeah.
Is this Boris overplaying?
This is the New York Yankees feeling exactly what the Mets felt a year ago with Pete. Scott Boras is insisting on a contract that is not out there for Cody Bellinger. The Yankees feel they've made a more than fair offer. It's now being reported at about 5 years, $155, which is exactly what Kyle Schwarber and Pete Alonso got.
Right.
Scott Boras is insisting on 7 years. And before we just kill Scott Boras for it, Cody Bellinger may be doing it. Cody Bellinger may be saying, I ain't signing for 5 years. I want 7 years. And so as Boras insists on this contract, the Yankees are saying, dude, if you got it somewhere else, show it to us.
Right.
He doesn't have it anywhere else. In fact, I haven't heard one reported offer for Cody Bellinger outside of the one that's come from the Yankees.
Yeah.
And so I think the Yankees are doing what the Mets did a year ago, in which they leaked out. They are under the impression Pete is leaving. They signed Jesse Winker. We're moving on. And I think that's exactly what's happening. And much like how it ended with Pete, I don't think there's a robust market for Bellinger the way Boras wants it to be. I don't think any team is going to exceed the 5 year 155. And so Yankee fans, calm down. You're going to get him. Yeah. I have no reason to believe this is going to end with a breakup between the Yankees and Cody Bellinger unless the Yankees want to break up by moving on to somebody else, which I don't think they'll do.
Well, we're not hearing anything about that. The only thing you're hearing from about Cody Bellinger is that other teams, like the Mets, would be interested once there's no bidding war with the Yankees. And that's not happening because there is no bidding war. The Yankees know what they want to spend, and with no one else bidding, why would they go higher?
Well, the Mets are never going to give Cody Bellinger where the Yankees are at. They're not going to 5 years, 155.
Right, because David Stearns doesn't do that with anybody.
If the only, well, it does it with Juan Soto. There's your exception.
Okay, the one exception.
The one contract the Mets have handed out longer than 3 years in the David Stearns era is Juan Soto. Like I was going through it last night. You look at Sean Manaea and Luis Severino and any other deal they've made have all been short-term deals, so there's a consistency. The Mets are not involved in Cody Bellinger unless the Yankees decide to move on. But I don't think the Yankees are going to move on. And I think the Yankees are wise, especially if they want the player back, to continue to stare down Scott Boras and say, go get a better offer then.
And
he's not going to get one.
One's not coming.
The only way it could happen, I'll paint you a scenario, and this will now pivot to the Kyle Tucker discussion. So right now, the New York Mets are trying to sign Kyle Tucker. So are the LA Dodgers, so are the Toronto Blue Jays. It feels like the Blue Jays are going long-term. The Dodgers and the Mets are both trying to get a shortish-term deal with maybe multiple opt-outs. If the Blue Jays miss on Bellinger, he ends up with the Mets or he ends up with the Dodgers. More on Tucker in a second. Then could Toronto say, whoa, hey, Let's go hard after Bellinger? Absolutely. And I think the Blue Jays could then be a threat. But if I'm the Yankees, I continue to look at Scott Boras and say, your move, bro.
Yeah.
We made a 5-year 155, and that's it. Right. We're not going further than that. We're not going to negotiate against ourselves. The thing about Kyle Tucker is this. Met fans, are they trying to sign Kyle Tucker? They are. They're trying to sign him. Do I have confidence that they're going to present the best offer and the best situation over both the Dodgers and the Blue Jays? Absolutely not.
No.
And that's where I don't have the confidence they will end up with.
But Kyle Tucker's young enough where instead of demanding, like Cody Bellinger, this massive long-term deal, he should go someplace like the Dodgers. And this is the same conversation we had about Skubal about 3 weeks ago, Evan. Go to the Dodgers, crush it, win a championship, and then go back into free agency.
Yeah.
You completely enhance your earning potential.
Not only does it enhance his earning potential because he could have a better year than last year where he fell off in the second half.
Yes.
The free agent market for the next 3 years of position players absolutely reeks.
So it's even more reason.
It's more reason. You will be the king of free agency next year. Like the best, right now, I'm not even joking, the best position player in free agency a year from now is a really solid player named Nico Horner. That's number one. Number two, I don't even know who number two would be. The year after that, Ozzie Albies. Like it is, It's so bereft of star players that it makes sense for Tucker to re-enter free agency. And that's where the Mets are playing. The Mets are going to try to get him on a high AAV short-term contract. But you cannot blame me for having a lack of confidence that they're going to outbid the LA Dodgers or out-situation the LA Dodgers. Because you're right. I mean, it pains me, but you're right. Like, the best case for him is to go to that lineup in that situation where you're guaranteed to be in the postseason, have a big October, have a big season, and go right back into free agency. So
I agree.
It sucks. The good news is the Mets are in on Kyle Tucker. They did meet with Kyle Tucker. I can confirm that. But
what does that even mean? Like, ultimately, what does that even mean?
It means they're being serious about it. Like, this is not...
Okay, was this in person or is this Zoom? Because I heard some of them are Zoom.
Yeah, that I don't know.
And Zoom is just weird. You're not meeting, you're not knowing somebody over Zoom. You're just not. You don't feel the presence of somebody over Zoom.
And ultimately...
Camera on or off, you think in that spot?
I mean, background blurred or what?
And ultimately, you're going to get them based on the offer.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have the greatest Zoom meeting in the world. Like,
true.
You know what I love about the short-term deal?
What do I actually mean to you?
Right.
Show me zeros.
The thing I love about the short-term deal is there have been rumblings all winter that Kyle Tucker doesn't love baseball, that Kyle Tucker may not be a New York guy. Yes. Yeah. I don't know how fair or not that is. I have no idea.
How could you not love baseball? I mean, think about it.
Ask Anthony Rendon.
But if you're a baseball player, but he's different. If you're a baseball player and you're good at it, how could you not love it? Because it's not, you're not getting your head beat in.
I think it's
like you're
more
a football player.
The passion.
Your knees aren't getting jacked up like you're a basketball player. You're not risking, I don't know, mortal injury if you're a hockey player. You know what I mean? Like, how can you not love baseball?
I mean, you only get so many summers in your life. Now 20 of them are spent at the field. I get some more pool time?
Stop.
That'd be the sport I'd want to play the least based on that.
Really?
Give me my summer off.
I mean, you could go to the pool in the hotel like every morning.
No, it's not the same.
It's not the same?
If I'm making multi-millions of dollars, I want to use my in-ground pool as much as possible. And if I'm not getting to use it as much in the summer, I'd rather be a football, hockey, or basketball player.
All right. So you can't withstand 10 years or 12 years of making multiple millions of guaranteed money.
Go get me to be the ninth man in the Portland bench.
When you're 45 years old, you can sit in your pool for the rest of your life and do absolutely nothing. Because if you make it that long, you've made a lot of money.
When you put it that way. And I guess you don't have to live in the Northeast or the offseason.
No. I don't know if he dislikes baseball or not. I'm merely saying those are the rumblings, but the beautiful thing about a short-term contract is, let's say it's a disaster.
Right.
It's over
That's
after.
all good.
Yeah.
See you later, man. Good luck.
Yeah. Like, if you give this guy a 9-year... I'll be honest, and Kyle Tucker's a wonderful player. I remember us arguing at the beginning of the offseason, to me, how much better he was than Cody Bellinger, and how I didn't understand why the Yankees would be so in on Cody and not
Only
Kyle
because
Tucker.
Cody has proven he's Yankee material.
There's value to that. He's proven he can play in New York. He's got more position versatility. I get what he brings. I think Tucker is better. I would be nervous about giving Kyle Tucker an 8-year contract. I would be. Like, if the news broke right now that Kyle Tucker's a Met, I would hope that it's a 4-year contract with, like, an opt-out after year 2. So at least I get 2 years out of him, and if he has 2 big years, great. Go into free agency, see you later. Maybe I've developed enough young players, and I don't care. That's what I would want. But I tell you, I shudder to think about the Met lineup without Kyle Tucker. Because I have to admit, last night I was scrolling down some lineup configurations with Kyle Tucker in it.
Not a good situation.
No, it's not a good situation. But we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. But officially, I think Yankee fans should take a deep breath on Cody Bellinger. It's all a game. You'll keep him.
Then I will call Scott Boras and say, are we going to make bellies full or is he going to go belly up? If you beleaguer the Bombers anymore, we'll boo you and move on. And I lost the B thing, but we'll just go from there.
Nice. Close. You got close.
Good work, Sean.
Thank you.
Let's go to Joe in Brooklyn. Hey, Joe.
Hey, I've been waiting a while.
Well, you won. You're here. You made it.
Right. Quick thing. I'm a Bills fan. This minute without kneeling just reminded me flashbacks of 13 seconds. Do you agree? Because they just get much time.
No, because when I think of, and you're a Bill fan, so obviously you tell me how dead wrong I am. When I think about the 13 seconds, I don't think about leaving too much time. I think about your freaking defense could not make a stop as great as Mahomes is. So I don't think of the regret of the time more than I do the lack of execution by your defense.
Okay, now I want to get to this. My grandmother passed away like around 10 years ago. And my dad promised my grandmother that if the Bills ever make it to the Super Bowl, he'll listen to it by her grave. Now, that would be one heck of a Super Bowl party. But I wonder if my dad made the same thing, but as a Jet, but with the Jets, how long do you think before he'll do it? Or will I have to listen, or will my children have to listen to my great-grandmother by the Super Bowl, by her grave?
I mean,
the Jets.
Here's the thing about the Jets. Because the Chicago Cubs went as long as they ended up doing without winning a World Series over 100 years, 108 years to be exact, I am now under the impression it is going to take 108 years for the Jets to win a Super Bowl. So that means you're looking at about 2077. So that means, what year is it now? 26?
2026.
So we're looking at about another 52 years.
Ouch.
So that's my answer to your question. I think it's going to take another 52 years for the Jets to win a Super Bowl.
Well, that's very nice.
I'm just being honest. So how old would that make me? I'm 42. So I'd be in my mid-90s if I was still alive. Joe would be dead. So he's gone.
You know, we always ask who's next. You're already talking about people being dead. Out of all 7 locals, who's the last to win their next championship?
Well, I just said it's going to take the Jets another 50
Well, but now I'm curious,
years.
though. Is the Nets after that?
Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are not winning a title either. They're actually going to be after the Jets.
Yeah, but can't you get better quicker in basketball?
Well, if you get a superstar, just like in football, if you get a quarterback.
Or you drafted 5 kids this year. What if one of them turns into a superstar?
Okay, all right. Calm yourself over there.
I'm
Danny Wolf had a double-double last night. Yay!
There you go.
No, but it's a Jet question, so stop bringing up the Nets. Nobody cares about the Nets. 108 years. So 20, if you want to write this down, the Jets' next championship will be in 2076.
Quick, give me the name of the quarterback.
Carson Maluga.
All right, long-term bet. Put that down.
That's nice.
I gave a name.
That's a good job. Yeah, I was off the fly.
He's Samoan? Played at the University of Hawaii?
Yeah, he's Samoan. Well, he's half Samoan. So, his dad is Samoan.
Yes.
And his mom is a ginger. So he's going to be a Samoan ginger.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What year would he have to be born in for this to math out right?
2057.
It's like another 30 years. He hasn't been born yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that means the parents likely aren't even born yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Or they're babies now.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be like our kids.
Right.
Our kids eventually having kids.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That is frightening. Speaking of the Jets, I'll tell you why this weekend makes it even more depressing to be a Jet fan. Plus your calls, 888-808-1019. It is Evan and Tiki until the Carton Show with Chris McMonagle at 2 o'clock.
This Odyssey Sports Minute is brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Leave plumbing to the pros at Roto-Rooter.
This is an Odyssey Sports Minute.
This is Nick Costos with the Sports Minute, sponsored by Wrangler. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles to kickstart your day. Wrangler, for the ride of life. On Sunday's wildcard game in Jacksonville, the Jaguars might have been the better team, but the Buffalo Bills had Superman. Josh Allen was unbelievable in the game. It's hard not to look at Buffalo with their star quarterback Josh Allen as the favorite to get to the Super Bowl. I'm Nick Costos.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
The playoffs are underway, and now you can trade on football legally nationwide on Kalshi. Will Pittsburgh upset Houston tonight? Trade the game, player props, and more. Use code FAN to get $20 when you trade 100. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Hey, it's Tiki here. I'm constantly on the go between the fan, taking care of my kids, various events, meetings, football games. The list goes on and on and on. But one of the things I value most is feeling safe and also knowing that my family is safe when I'm not with them at home. That's why I turn to our great partners at Sloman's Home Security to install their innovative ShieldLink system in my own house. The Sloman ShieldLink system is a smart home security solution that easily and seamlessly combines safety, convenience, and most importantly, peace of mind. Whether I'm home or away, I can manage anything right from my phone. My security system, home automation, my entertainment system, everything is right there at my fingertips. Our security lighting turns on as soon as we turn our alarm system on. So whether we're home going to sleep or away, we know that we're safe and our home feels protected. Just give them a call at 1-800-ALARM-ME or visit online slomans.com to learn how Sloman ShieldLink can give you peace of mind in your home and when you're on the go, just like me. Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600 plus miles of range. What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Talk sports with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
I wrote down a list of reasons why this weekend made it more depressing to be a Jet fan. Number one, the division. I mean, the Patriots, especially with how well coached they looked last night, to go along with the fact that Drake May win the MVP this season and is only going to get better, he's in the Jet division. Josh Allen is in the Jet division.
Right.
So as the debate internally and on this radio station will go over the next few months about Dante Moore or trading for Kyler Murray or whatever quarterback they bring in, ask yourself this. Will any of them truly be able to go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen and Drake May? I mean, think about it.
Yeah, that's a tough hustle.
It's incredibly depressing. Then you just look at the coaching of these playoff teams. You look at even a Liam Cohen. Is Aaron Glenn ever going to give the Jets an X's and O's edge the way a lot of these young head coaches do, whether it's Ben Johnson in Chicago or I mentioned Liam Cohen in Jacksonville? Like, the coaching feels a million miles away.
Right. That's why I thought they would seriously consider moving on.
Well, they will next year.
Right. Unless there is a demonstrated advancement in that just that simple realm of coaching. It's an amorphous term. It doesn't really mean anything, but it means everything. Unless there's a clear growth in that spot, Aaron Glenn's going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, I think Aaron Glenn, if I had to make a long-term prediction, he's gone at the end of next year. And I don't think I'm going out on a limb here, but no, I think the Jets are looking for a new head coach a year from now. When we're doing our January 12th, 2027 show, I am going to cut this out. Tiki and I will be talking about all the different Jet candidates, and they'll all be first-time coordinators. You can mark my words. And then the other thing that added to my weekend, and I know this shouldn't bother me, is the unneeded shade. I know the Jets suck. You know the Jets. We all know. Do I need unneeded shade? And so here is the Amazon Prime pregame show and an innocent interview with Devontae Adams. Once a Jet, always a Jet. And tell me if this was necessary at all.
And because the job's not done, the main objective is to win the whole thing. You got to find a way to be gritty and resilient within those games, as if you don't bring your best stuff, you're going to be at home with the Jets, 2 seconds after that.
That makes sense.
Why?
Damn.
Why?
I didn't hear that. That is cold-blooded, dude.
Like, what's the point?
There's so many other teams. You could have said the Giants.
You could have said anybody.
So many other teams you could have picked. They're just the Raiders. So many teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he picks the Jets. And why? Because he had such a bitter breakup here?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, no, that's the. Well, you should have said the Raiders. He had a bitter breakup with them.
No, you're right.
But this kind of stuff, and here's the thing we got to get used to, Jet fans. Nothing's changing this until they start winning.
Yeah.
They are the LOL Jets. They are the absolute LOL team. And while we deserve it because we suck, a lot of it is unnecessary. That is unnecessary. And that's the kind of shade we have to deal with. So I know you guys, and by you guys, I mean Giant fans, had a rough time last year with the Saquon stuff, had to deal with that all the way through the Super Bowl. We're just dealing with our existence.
Right. Yeah. But it got a chuckle. The problem is the Jets have become the league joke.
Yeah.
The league whipping boy.
Yes.
It's just easy. You know it. If you said, I'm trying to think of a team that's just recently bad. Tennessee. Now, yeah, I guess Tennessee, because a couple of years ago when Variable was there, you thought of them as a good team. Mm-hmm. If you said, yeah, they're like the Titans, you'd be like, huh? What does that mean? Is that remember the Titans? Is that, Denzel, or is that Mike Vrabel? Like, what are you talking about?
So why not just say the Raiders? The Raiders have been awful.
But the Raiders have a richer history. The Jets are the poster of it.
And they had this 2 years ago with Antonio Pierce as the interim. It was an interesting story.
Right.
Whereas the Jets, it's just kind of like every year. It's the same recycled nonsense.
It's not just football. They have the longest, that's it. Like, we joke around, but it's true. They have the longest playoff drought.
It's you guys are right. Like, as much as it pains me, they've earned LOL, Jets. Mm-hmm. And while a lot of it is unfair and unnecessary, the only way to change it is by winning. Like, a credit to the Knicks. The Knicks were the LOL Knicks for a million years, and no one does it anymore because they beat it out of you.
Right.
They're good.
But
There's
it
nothing
took
to laugh
sustained winning. It took 3 years. At first, it was kind of like, it's a flash in the pan. Atlanta destroyed you.
And then they missed the playoffs the following year.
And so it was like, still, you're back to the same. And then that's extended winning.
Yeah.
But it's possible. The Lions used to be that team for us. We always referenced and made that joke about that. That's done now.
No,
and think about how quickly that changed.
Yes.
I mean, it's 5 years, 4 years since Dan Campbell took over?
You're right.
You don't even think of them that way anymore.
No, it's just the Jets. We own it. So thank you, Devontae. That was really necessary for you to just say, you end up as the Jets.
And now can you just picture Evan when Devontae slid behind that camera Aaron Rodgers was on the McAfee show to show he was in Jersey and joining Aaron Rodgers?
I was excited. Oh, you want to do more LOL stuff? I thought we were done with it. You want to keep laughing? Keep laughing.
Just bring
Watch your name other funny stuff. Evan was happy even after Rodgers got hurt because they beat the Bills that night on a walk-off kick return for a touchdown. Want to laugh about that?
No, I don't.
Well, what else you want to laugh about?
Yeah, you're laughing.
I'm having a chuckle.
I'm laughing because it got to 108 to get under his skin.
I had to say goodbye to my dog a few weeks ago. You want to laugh at that too?
Oh, do not put that on me. By the way, I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Dudley. Do not. That's terrible to put
you're laughing at me. Why don't we keep going? You want to keep going?
You can't put dead dog on my plate. You know how horrible that is?
You just...
Are you getting another one?
What kind of question is that?
The same question you just asked me. That's what kind of question.
I didn't ask you a question. I just said, since you're making fun of the Jets and bringing up old stuff, you want to just keep going?
Your children would like to know.
I'm not getting into that conversation. It's a complicated conversation. Nor am I ready to have that. Like, I don't know. When I say goodbye to my cat many years ago, Freedom, and it was tough, I didn't know because I knew I was going to get another pet, but I didn't know the right amount of time.
Yeah.
And I waited like 4 months. Like, it was not instant, but everybody's different. And I respect the hell out of that. Some people go out the next day. I'm still grieving. And so as long as you're grieving, it's odd to...
Or you can stop the grieving by bringing joy.
So is that what you do in your past?
It's not what we did because our dog Charlotte passed away 18 or so, and then COVID forced us to get another dog.
What do you mean COVID forced you to get another dog?
What does that mean? COVID was so mind-numbing.
Yeah.
It was mind-numbing and boring. So people did one of two things. They either fixed their home so they could home entertain, or their backyards, or their basements, or they got a pet.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was a baby boom of pets during COVID.
100%.
And now most of them don't like leaving their owner's sides because they were with them all the time their first year.
That's right.
Yeah, you set them up for something so
I feel like everybody in our neighborhood got dogs during COVID.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not even kidding.
I got to be honest. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I renovated my house. So to Tiki's point, I went the other end.
I did both, but...
And I think what other people did, especially if you were living in New York City, is you left New York City.
100%.
You were just like,
I'm out.
I'm going to go find somewhere else to live.
I need green spaces where I can stand outside.
Yes. Steve is calling from Charlotte. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hey, love the show. Thanks for the call, guys.
Pleasure, Steve.
So I'm 37 years old, lifelong Jets fan. My father, my grandfather, both Giants fans. Now, I've been saying for the last few years, I need Woody Johnson to do something completely morally deplorable so that I could quit the Jets and have a clear conscience about it. And
yeah, like people quit Washington because of Snyder.
Yeah. Exactly. So my question to you is generally, and then I'll take it off. What are your feelings on grown men just suddenly changing the team they root for after all these years?
Look, I'm not going to lecture you that you can't do it. You can read Joe's book. Joe wrote a book over a decade ago, The Rules of the New York Sports Fan. But here's what I'll tell you. It'll never be as fulfilling. So if you give up on the Jets at 38 years old and you pick whatever team, even if the team is down right now, let's say it's the Giants or it's the Titans, whatever team you want, when they win, if they win in the next 5 years, it will not give you the same unbridled joy as the team that you've watched struggle finally breaking through. And this is where I feel bad for Sean. He will never experience the kind of joy I would experience if the New York Jets win a Super Bowl. Not even close. And I feel bad for you. Like, it doesn't mean you won't be happy if Jackson Dart wins a Super Bowl. It just won't be the same.
You're talking about just football or other sports?
I'm specifically talking about football, but we can get into other sports if you want. But in football, it will not tingle you or hit you the way it does me. It won't even be close. I do feel bad for you.
I think you're being short-sighted. As somebody who's seen a championship, a couple of them.
My point exactly.
Enough time has passed.
No.
Yeah, like life circumstances change. Life, you know what I mean? Like,
you don't understand.
I haven't experienced one with my kids.
That's all cute, and again, that adds something. I'm not saying you won't have great appreciation for the title.
After this many years down, you don't think I can appreciate it the same?
I never said you won't appreciate it. It won't be like me, and it won't be like Joe, and it won't be like our last caller. So I feel bad for you. I do.
The only reason I'm going to say no, 2009 Yankees, it felt as good as 96.
Okay.
Because a long time had passed.
Okay, you were like 8 when they won in 96. You just don't understand. This is one of those things where...
So now that doesn't count? I mean, that channels your childhood.
You're getting very sensitive. I never said it doesn't count. I never said it wasn't amazing. It will not hit you the way it hits me and other fans of my ilk. I'm sorry.
So I've experienced it both ways and can tell you it does hit the same, but you have never experienced it and you're going to tell me how it hits.
I'm telling you right now.
That is a classic Evan Roberts if I've ever seen.
It's just true.
Okay.
I'm just being honest with you.
I'm actually confused why you're hating on him, but...
Thank you, Tiki.
Wait, I'm hating on him?
No, he's hating on you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
I'm
Tiki.
confused.
Let's go to Marty in Hoboken. What's up, Marty?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game tonight. Big Steeler fan. They're 100% healthy. And I think Rodgers will play a great game. And one other thing, Bill Cowher was on Rich Eisen's show, and he asked Eisen a trivia question. When was the last time the Steelers lost a home Monday Night Football game?
I think it was like the early 90s, wasn't it? Aren't they on like some kind of incredible streak?
You'll get that stat in the next Fan Focus in a few minutes.
Oh, well, hold on, Marty. We got to let you go then. I'm sorry. Would you like to use it now so you don't have your Fan Focus stolen by a loyal caller?
You know what? Why not? This Fan Focus is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Wild Card weekend comes to a close tonight when the Texans visit the Steelers. The winner will go to New England on Sunday with the time still to be determined. The Steelers have not lost a Monday Night Football game at home since October 14th, 1991. Though it is unclear whether a playoff game will count towards this unofficial record the Steelers have cooking. A loss could mark the end of Aaron Rodgers' legendary career between his runs in Green Bay and in Pittsburgh.
But they played a lot of Monday night games, I would think, since 1991.
Oh, I think it's a long list. I don't think this is
record too.
I understand that, but a lot of Monday night. Oh, it's true. Some of the Monday night games could have been on the road.
But if I had to guess how many home Monday night games they've played since 1991, I bet you that number is 15.
Right.
Like, it's a significant number. Like, it's not one of those weird streaks where they've only done it 3 times.
Now, there's a caveat.
Yes, let's address this caveat. Okay. And I'm glad you're about to bring up my caveat. On January 15th, 2024, the Pittsburgh Steelers had to play a Monday afternoonish game. The game got moved because of a weather issue.
Interesting.
And so it was a 4:30 Monday game.
Count?
Does that count?
Well, that's not the only one. You had a different one because that was the playoffs.
That was the playoffs, yes.
The other one happened in COVID, they play a Monday game and they lost.
By the way, that's the one I meant because even the one I just brought up.
That was home.
Yeah, the Buffalo one was on the road. So that wouldn't, because these are only home games,
Would not
right?
count. Yeah,
so
home
this
game.
was a COVID game that got moved to a Monday.
Correct.
At what time did you say?
5 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know.
It became a Monday doubleheader.
I don't count it. It's on Monday Night Football.
Well, it's not Monday Night Football because think about, because even on the West Coast, the Monday Night Football still feels like it's night.
Well, not only that, Tiki.
The West Coast at 5 is like, it's 1 o'clock. It's afternoon.
I don't think we had access to the game. I think it was one of those.
I don't remember.
Local people who were going to get the game got the game. And that if you had the DirecTV package, there was well, do you get the game?
They gave it to everybody, Evan.
Oh, they did?
And the outrage was the Sunday ticket holders were mad because it was a game they paid for that everybody then got. It was a reverse outrage.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think that one counts. I would say the streak is still alive. And it's an impressive streak. I tell you, I hope that streak ends tonight. I cannot deal with Steelers Patriots. That is just horrible.
Texans have struggled offensively all season.
I know, but their defense is awesome, dude.
Oh, it's fantastic. But they have struggled a lot this season.
Let's go to Dino in Cranford, New Jersey. Hey, Dino.
Hey, boys. So, first off, didn't get a chance to call last week. Welcome back to the middays for both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. What's up?
Want to talk? I'm actually on with Sean with this one. Why is this not signaling the potential end of the Philly Eagles domain right now in the NFC East? I get what you guys are saying with the rinse and repeat stuff, but think about this and peel the onion back a little bit. They're gonna definitely trade A.J. Brown. I think we're all in agreement with that.
Yeah,
that will add a different dynamic in that locker room. There will be a new X receiver, a new alpha. I get Devonta Smith is playing good and is doing good. He's not that X guy. Whoever you bring in to replace him, you have to see what that mindset of that player is going to be. You have to see how it's going to mesh with everything going on. Couple that with what has gone on with Jalen Hurts this year. The design runs are down. They went from 92 design runs to 41 design runs for him this year. He
looked off, too, Dino.
Here's the thing. And I respect you, Sean, and I can predict Craig will feel the same way because he hates Philadelphia. I think that your biases are clouding the fact that Howie Roseman's the best general manager on the planet, and that despite how bad things went, they're going to replace this offensive coordinator. And every time they've done that, like remember when they did that after 23, they ended up with Kellen Moore in 24, who went on, got a head coaching job, and oh, by the way, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Like, it just really feels rinse and repeat. Yes, there are players on this roster getting older. Yes, Jalen Hurts didn't have the greatest year in the world. But I'd be stunned if we're not sitting here a year from now talking about the Eagles in another playoff game. The New York Jets have added a quarterback.
Oh.
The New York Jets have signed Bailey Zappi to a futures deal.
Can't wait.
What are they doing? They're trolling us. Darren Muji just trolled us. We just sat through a weekend of brilliant football in which we feel a million miles away. Devontae Adams is mocking us. The Bills are in the divisional round. The Patriots are in the divisional round. They've got 2 MVP candidates at quarterbacks. And the Jets are like, we got you, Bailey Zappi. Like, that feels like the Jets are trolling us by even making this move. If you want to bring in Bailey Zappi to an irrelevant futures deal, can you do it like, I don't know, not a few hours after we watch Drake May advance to the divisional round? Maybe I'm being too sensitive. It feels like we're being trolled by our own franchise.
Did he even play last year? Was he in the league?
Yeah, I thought he was with...
He was on a practice squad for sure.
Is that where he was? He was somewhere this year.
Yeah, he was on a practice squad. The last time he saw a snap was in 2024, though, with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, maybe you have something.
Stop, don't do that.
16 of 31. For 171 yards, a TD, and 2 interceptions.
If Bailey Zappi sees the field for the New York Jets in 2026, the season will have been an unmitigated, unfiltered disaster.
He's only 27 years old next year.
Don't do this.
He's young.
Maybe you got something.
Maybe you got something with a Zappi guy, you know.
I think it's more of a
Western
tale.
Kentucky.
I think we found out Brady Cook not a backup quarterback.
Yeah, well, I think that was pretty obvious. We'll make our pick a little bit more in depth a little bit later on tonight's Monday night game. We'll get back to your calls, 888-808-1019. And Ben Johnson did something fascinating this week in the lead-up to this postseason game. We'll reveal what it is, all from our Town Fair Tire studio. And our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name-brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
If you're looking to level up your wardrobe, check out Collars & Co. You might have seen them on Shark Tank where they landed a deal with Mark Cuban. They're the team behind the dress collar polo that sold over 1 million shirts. Now they've launched the Maverick Performance Blazer, and this thing is legit. It's sharp, lightweight, and completely wrinkle resistant. Perfect for travel. All you gotta do is pack it in your bag and it comes out looking fresh. Plus, you get cool smart features like security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So hit up collarsandco.com. Use code Tiki for 20% off. That's at collarsandco.com.
This portion of the program is sponsored by Ray Katina, Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
Just one drive in a Mercedes-Benz, you'll understand why it's a gift that keeps on giving. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration lives on at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Choose from over 500 vehicles and experience the love during the extended Holiday Love Celebration at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you beat the books with 21 Sports. The Steelers host the Texans to finish off Wild Card Weekend, and I know what you're thinking. Tomlin's team's about to go one and done again, and we'll be having the same debate we've had for the last 5 years. Not so fast, my friend. The last 2 playoff matchups for Tomlin, Russell Wilson versus Lamar Jackson, and Mason Rudolph versus Josh Allen. This time, it's Aaron Rodgers versus C.J. Stroud. And Pittsburgh's won how many games in a row at home on Monday night? I'll take the points with the Steelers. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Do I keep renting or finally buy?
Do I plan for a vacation or plan for a renovation?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
If money talks, what's it say to me?
Is cash still king?
Wait, when did a dollar slice go up to $3? Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
The final wild card matchup is tonight, and FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day.
Now you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. Can Aaron Rodgers lead his team past Houston in their daunting defense? Take your shot at an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. Then apply your profit boosts and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/New York, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, go 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Orgavatazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with AutoPay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then.
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
When it comes to buying Continental winter tires at the guaranteed lowest price, there's only one place to go. Town Fair Tire. Plus, when it comes to getting more free services, when you buy Continental winter tires, there's only one place to go. Town Fair Tire. So, for the best deal on Continental tires, there's only one place to go. Town Fair Tire. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
See what sets Mazda apart in the Mazda CX-5. The smart choice for those who expect more from their drive. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 gives you confidence in every condition. Its effortless handling and responsive performance set it apart from the crowd. Inside, you'll find thoughtful, crafted design for comfort and connection. There's more to a Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-5 for $209 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
The Nets are in Big D taking on the Mavericks. 8:30 tonight. The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
We'll break down tonight's game in a few minutes. The Steelers and the Texans. The winner goes to Foxborough to hopefully end the nightmare that is the New England Patriots going on another Super Bowl run. For Giant fans, your nightmare ended yesterday when the Philadelphia Eagles got picked off by the injury-riddled San Francisco 49ers. I want you to tell me how good this little rant is. This is and I'm going to guess the age, a 12-year-old Eagle fan.
Okay.
Leaving the stadium, being asked about what happened, his opinion, who deserves blame. So here is unnamed Eagle fan breaking down what happened as the Eagles lost to the San Francisco 49ers.
Feeling two of two things. A, I want A.J. Brown packing his bags, and I want him somewhere else that is not here. I love you, A.J., but, you can't make those drops in that game. And I also want Kevin Patullo flipping burgers at, the local McDonald's or something. I don't care.
Why do you say that?
Whenever he's an offensive coordinator, it's like he's flipping burgers. One side, he's cooking. One half he's cooking, and the other half is completely raw.
Do you like that one?
Wow.
How
old is that kid?
I'm going to guess 12.
Smart.
Yeah.
He's football savvy.
He's a young Philadelphia Sean Morash.
I love the take. One minor quibble, and he can iron this out. I don't know, man. I'm a big McDonald's guy. I never go there and feel like half my burgers are raw, though. You know what I mean? I knew where he was going with.
Come on.
I knew where he was going with the burger flipper thing. You got to clean that up a little bit. That's not fair to McDonald's burger flippers.
Yeah, he needs a different example.
You know what I mean?
Like a place that just has nasty burgers.
Yeah, or something that's just bad on the other half.
I was just happy that he didn't drop F-bombs. There's something that bothers me about the little kids using the F word all the time.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that, so I'm glad it was clean. It didn't need any editing. It was just, I'm disgusted by this guy. I'm disgusted by that guy. There was no mother bleeps.
Well, I did see a video of 4 kids in Eagle jerseys giving middle fingers to a bunch of Niner fans walking in pregame.
Yeah.
So I can't say everybody in Philadelphia's cleaned up their act, kid was.
Well, I'd say everybody, but it's good to at least see that. One other thing is Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was asked after the game. I was telling you earlier in the show, I was listening to all the post-game press conferences from the head coaches because you never know what you'll learn. So Ben was asked about the Bears' comeback, and he revealed that in training camp, he played highlights of the Patriots' comeback against the Falcons in the Super Bowl after the 2016 season.
Really?
Yeah, as a reminder, the game is never over.
Huh. That's weird. No, nobody ever did that. That's just weird.
Why is that weird?
Because
I think it's actually pretty.
It's not related to you. And why would you care?
Because it could be related to you. And think about it. Not that they were down by the same score or by the same deficit. It turned out to matter in a playoff game.
I'm just trying to think as a player, if I'm sitting in that room, why I'm motivated by that. Because, I mean, as an analyst, I enjoy seeing what teams do and coaches try to position and play design and all that other stuff. But as a current player, why would I care that the New England Patriots, not my team, I don't know anybody on that team, I have no affinity to either. Why would I care?
No one ever tried that with you in the room? Whether it was Tom Coughlin or Jim Fossil, like here's a highlight of an old game to remind you of something?
Not my game.
It would be your game.
They would show me kicking ass, and I'd be like, yeah, that's right. I'm going to do that again. But not some other random team. I think the closest I got was in college when my running back coach showed us the Thriller in Manila.
Oh.
Which was awesome.
Yeah. It's not football related, but okay.
It was awesome because we didn't know. We weren't familiar with it. It was before our age, but it just every couple of days he'd show us another round. And so it was just and back then we didn't have the internet, so we didn't look up Thriller in Manila. What happened?
Right.
You couldn't just go search and figure it out. And so we just waited and just watched and watched and watched, and it got to the end, and he didn't answer. He didn't answer the bell.
Yeah.
So he was just like, answer the bleeping bell. It was like the end of our training camp. He's like, no matter what happens, you answer the bleeping bell.
I was waiting for what the message was. That's a pretty good message.
That was the message.
All right. So you know what I've learned from this conversation? I don't think the modern coaches would work on Tiki Barber.
No.
You'd roll your eyes and be like,
you are stupid.
He'd be going in depth the whole time.
Let's go to Anthony in the Bronx. Hey, Anthony.
How you doing, guys?
What's up, man?
A little bad news. The pet stuff, it really never goes away. Little good news. I don't think we got to wait 100 years for the Jets. I believe that Namath sold his soul to the devil, and the deal was that he'd never watch them win another one. So I'm not rooting for anything, but I don't think it's going to be 100 years.
So you're basically saying poor Joe's got to die, and no one's going to sit there rooting for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in curses. I think that curses are excuses for incompetence. And you should put that on a T-shirt.
I like that.
And I believe that throughout the history of sports. It wasn't a curse that did in the Cubs. It wasn't a curse that did in the Red Sox. And it's not a curse that's doing in the Jets. It's incompetence. So when I say it's going to take 100 years, yeah, part of it is playing off the Cubs, but a lot of it is a lack of faith in their current leadership.
What was the incompetence with the Cubs? Was it their owners?
Yeah, I mean, they just didn't make smart moves.
Right.
I think with the Red Sox, it was more obvious because of the racism, the fact that,
right.
And I think the story was before Jackie broke the color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and I remember reading about this years ago, the general manager at the time was prepared to sign, I think it was Hank Aaron, Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson. It was going to be like a group, maybe not Hank Aaron, but I think it was like 4 of the best players from the Negro Leagues, and it was done.
Yeah.
And Tom Yawkey was like, no, not doing it. And so stories like that say, well, yeah, the Red Sox were just, they were run by a racist.
Right.
They weren't forward thinking. And yeah, it's a big part of why they went 1,000,000 years without winning.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when it comes to the Jets, it's, do you trust them to find the right guys and turn it around? The answer is probably not. I'll tell you the other formula I use sometimes about winning. The Mets. Joe taught me this formula.
Okay.
73 to 86, 13 years in between getting to a World Series.
Okay.
86 to 2000, 14 years. 2000 to 2015, 15 years. So the next Mets World Series appearance is 16 years after 2015. So the next World Series
31.
appearance is 2031.
That's close.
It's close.
That's 5 years from now.
The only thing, but
Juan Soto would be 32 years old.
That was, yes.
33 years old.
Soto's in the prime of his career. He's set.
He could be. He's where Aaron Judge is now.
No, you're right. Unless the Mets let him opt out and leave.
Carson Bench hits a leadoff homer.
Yeah. The problem is then they're going to lose, and then it'll be another 17 years until they get back.
Well, so how do you get back to what's the winning number?
Oh, I don't think there is a winning number. Sorry about that.
So 60, what was it, 60?
It's 13, 14, and 15. 13 years between pennants, 14 year between
pennants.
pennants.
World Series.
86. So how many years is that now?
Yeah.
Oh, this year's an anniversary. This is the 40th anniversary of the Mets' last World Championship, 1986.
Wow, America was 210 when they won.
Isn't that crazy?
Right, 250. That's right.
Yeah.
I keep hearing that.
Yeah, the 250?
Yeah.
America 250.
America 250. Let's go to Rui in South River. Hey, Rui.
Hey, Evan. Hey, guys. How you doing? Evan, I wanted to commiserate slightly, sort of with you, and also agree with you on the elation that one feels after their team finally wins one. I'm a lifelong Angels fan, and they are a laughingstock of the major leagues, and I know where you're coming from as far as the Jets go. But also, as a lifelong Angels fan, I honestly still have to pinch myself sometimes when I watch replays of the 2002 World Series, because by then I've been an Angels fan for like 22 years, and I never thought they would win anything. It just came completely out of left field, and I was in shock. I was in shock and elation, and yeah, I agree with you 100% that the feeling one gets after finally winning, I don't think that can be matched.
That's the thing Sean will never understand, and I respect it. I don't even want to argue with him. It's more just I want to pat him on the head and say, you just don't know. You don't know because of the teams you root for. I mean, you just don't know what that feels like.
Oh, yeah, sure, I don't.
Well, you don't. How many championships have you seen in your lifetime in grand total of the 4 teams you root for?
I have to think about it.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Exactly.
2, 3.
4, 5.
I honestly forget how many Yankee wins have I seen, 5 or 6?
You have seen 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009. So you got
5. So 5, 2, and my first sports memory was the Rangers year, so that's 8.
You got 8 championships.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old are you
That's
again?
pretty damn good.
38.
Okay. I am 42 and a half. My half birthday was over the weekend.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I've seen 0. 0.
Okay.
So you don't know.
Oh, does that depress you that you'll never catch them?
Forget catch them. You think I'll catch them? I just want one of each. I'm actually screw that. I just want one. Like,
I get
me the one.
That's a lot, Sean.
It is. Only 3 in my adult life, though.
And he has the balls
matter.
to tell me he knows what it would feel like to win again when I haven't seen one. That just proved my point.
And yet my 2 favorite teams of all time are the 2000 Giants and 2001 Nets, the 2 teams that got there and lost.
I understand. I'm just saying you don't get it.
I get it.
You don't get it.
I get it because I lived the 2009 Yankees and I realized how much it meant to me when we went that long.
Stop it.
I lived it.
You're insulting. Anthony's in Nutley. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, guys, love the show. I just wanted to give insight on the Ben Johnson showing the 28-3 Super Bowl, as we all know.
Okay.
But what Tiki said as a player, obviously that wouldn't really motivate me, but what motivates me is if 2 players from those teams were on our team, just as Joe Tooney was on the Patriots and Grady Jarrett, defensive lineman, was on the Falcons, to give their point of views.
Interesting.
On that game.
Does that add to it? Good insight, Anthony. Does that add to the intention of doing
if
that?
they got up and talked about it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. But would that do something for you?
Yeah, probably, because you respect your teammate.
Oh, I have an answer to your question.
What's that?
You asked me a question about an hour ago.
Okay.
About Kyle Tucker in the meeting.
Yeah.
In person out of New York.
Oh, nice.
You like that one?
I do.
Does that give you more hope?
That's better because it's not New York, so therefore you can't get stupid speculation about it. It's actually smart.
It's also because you don't want to show them New York in the winter.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
That was the story. Brian Cashman, I think, told this story.
Last week was actually okay last week.
Okay, yeah, okay for us.
Yeah.
Brian Cashman told a great story about chasing Yamamoto, where the Yankees flew out to California. They meet Yamamoto. They're at this beautiful, hotel rooftop. It's 75 degrees. And Cashman goes to Boone and says, we have no shot to get this guy. He's going to look at this weather and be like, I'm going to New York? And while I love the cold weather, and some of us do like the cold weather, the vast majority of people see that kind of weather, especially in the middle of December or January, and it's like, that's a no-brainer. So it's probably a good strategy to meet with a free agent that you're trying to bring to New York outside of New York.
Right.
Because the reality is...
Just start to develop the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Because it is not pleasant here.
No.
It's supposed to snow later this week, I heard.
Oh, God, is it?
How many are we talking? 2 inches?
Yeah, probably
6 inches?
But still, just the fact that it was 50-something a couple days ago.
I know.
Let's go to Sonny in Malvern. Hey, Sonny.
Hey, guys. Hey, Teak.
What's up, Sonny?
What's up?
Hey. Evan, you were talking about your formula for winning. My formula for winning or for betting is when you have two quarterbacks, I'm talking about the playoffs here, and any time, really, and one of them's a future Hall of Famer. He's a great quarterback. You always go with the future Hall of Famer. 9 out of 10 times, that works, and that's why I'm going with Rodgers tonight. And, guys, as far as Harbaugh is concerned, listen, I never thought he was going to go to Miami. He was going to go to the team. Number one, the Giants is a perfect fit for him. He wanted the quarterback, and there's no quarterback in Miami. Tua is no good, and they have a huge contract with him that they can't get rid of. So that was never going to happen. He respects Mara, and he knows when he comes to the Giants, he's going to have full power because Shane is a lame duck here. And even though the Giants, respect Shane and they like him, and, they want to keep him. They didn't want to get rid of him. They want to keep him, even though 90% of the fan base wants him gone.
Right.
But Harbaugh is going to have full power here, guys, so it's a perfect fit. And I called up, guys, a couple of weeks ago when Sal was still here, and I said, there's no way the Giants aren't going to at least win 9 to 10 games next year. And he had a fit. Meanwhile, there were 2 teams this year that went from 3 wins last year to 13 wins this year. So there's a great chance the Giants, especially with the Eagles.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the common denominator is that all those teams have good quarterbacks.
Yeah, the Giants fit the common denominator. Yeah. Like, telling me the Jets are going to win 9 or 10 games, I hope you're right. My answer wouldn't be to yell. It would just be, from your lips to God's ears, bro, to quote the great Joe B. I don't see it. I don't agree with it. But the Giants, as much as it pains me to see Sean smile right now, the Giants are set up to have a big turnaround year. They really are. Now, let me see if Sonny's formula works. He says in the playoffs, always go with the better quarterback. Well, let's take a look at this weekend and see if we could universally agree the better quarterback won. Bryce Young versus Matthew Stafford. Stafford won.
Yep. Correct.
That's a check. Jordan Love versus Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams won.
I'm officially giving that a check.
Really?
I think Caleb is turning into that guy.
Yeah.
When we sit here, even a year from now, it will be open and shut that Caleb Williams is better than Jordan Love.
I think just
a
Caleb's
year
more
from
talented.
now, no, but in 3 years.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
2 for 2. Josh Allen against Trevor Lawrence. Josh Allen won.
Definitely.
Yes. No question. No offense to you, Trevor.
MVP versus non-MVP.
Jalen Hurts versus Brock Purdy.
See, I can't back this one. I'd rather Hurts than Purdy.
I mean, they both have accomplished a lot, and both get stereotyped as, it's the roster around them.
Yeah,
they both deal with it.
But Purdy made some hellified throws, man.
He did. Purdy's been playing out of his mind. But I mean, Hurts won a Super Bowl.
It definitely hurts.
Hurts was the best player in 2 Super Bowls.
I agree. But it's funny that both of them kind of deal with the same critiques.
Yeah.
They both deal with the whole, they're not that good.
Yeah.
And then finally, Drake May against Justin Herbert.
Not even.
Open and shut.
Yeah. I tell you right now, that is open and
he
shut.
He might win the MVP.
So far, I think Sonny's formula works. Now, you look at a night like tonight. Tonight's complicated because Aaron Rodgers obviously is an all-time great. And I shudder to think that C.J. Stroud has any shot, with all due respect to him, of ever getting to the level of Aaron Rodgers. He's a really good quarterback. He's not Aaron Rodgers. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about today Aaron Rodgers versus today C.J. Stroud. Who's the better quarterback?
I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers.
You're going to take Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I do. C.J. Stroud feels flawed this year.
Yeah.
I'm taking Stroud.
I'm taking Stroud, too, but I admit it's close.
Well, here's the thing. Their best moments, even this year, is Rodgers every once in a while dialing one back that you see him. But over 60 minutes, Stroud's the better quarterback now.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers statistically had the better year. I know CJ missed a couple of games.
He did.
I think it's reasonably close. And with that said, let's make our pick on tonight's game. Our pick is brought to you by Elec 825, Building Our Future. Collars & Co., the original dress collar polo. We picked all the games over the weekend, and it was actually very close. I went 3-2. Tiki Barber went 3-2, and Sean went 2-3. Real quick, on the Carolina Ram game, Tiki and I took L's. We took the Rams with the points, or laying the points. Sean took Carolina. On the Chicago Green Bay game, it was the opposite. Me and Tiki got victories, taking the Bears. Sean took Green Bay. On the Jacksonville Buffalo game, I was the only one with a victory, taking Buffalo. You two picked Jacksonville. On the Philadelphia San Francisco game, me and Tiki got victories, picking San Francisco. I did not think the Niners would win outright. I was taking the points, full transparency.
Yep.
And then finally with the New England game, I took the L, picking the Chargers. You guys took New England. So 3-2 for me and Tiki, 2-3 for Sean Morash. Okay. Sean, kick it off. It's Steelers-Texans on a Monday night.
Yeah, and we got the Texans laying 3 points. You know, as the weekend went along, the more and more I started to pivot and like the Steelers tonight, just because the experience in Tomlin. But I'm going back to my original gut here. I don't think this is going to be a pretty game by any means. I think the Texans win a clunky one, like 16-10, very defensive-oriented, and that gets you the cover. I think Houston moves on here.
Tiki Barber.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be a tight one, but I'm going to flip. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers here. I think that the Aaron Rodgers effect, ends of half, ends of game, just it gives him a little bit of an edge. This is going to be a little bit of a defensive battle, I would suspect. I know Houston has a fantastic one, but it's Mike Tomlin. It's about time he's won a postseason game. It's been a long time.
This has the makings of a late, close, boring football game that never feels close, if that makes any sense. Like, there's not a lot of offense. It's a one-score game, but it doesn't feel close. And my gut tells me it's on the Houston side of things. They build a 16-9 lead, and you never feel a threat that the Steelers are going to march down the field and score a touchdown. So I'm going to take the Texans laying the 3 points. Now, there is a small part of me that knows how bad this weekend has been for Jet fans and says it's going to end even worse. It's going to end with another nemesis of you advancing. But just from a purely football standpoint, this Texan defense is legit. The Steeler offense hasn't clicked all year. Really, the Steelers at all haven't clicked all year. I give them credit for winning enough games, but they've always felt like a mid-team. This will be the breakout because it involves DeMeco Ryans and C.J. Stroud finally winning a road game. They haven't done that during this era. 2-0 at home, 0-2 on the road. But I'm taking the Texans. Give me Houston laying the 3. Monday Night Football, the final game of Wild Card Weekend. Let's finish with your phone calls, 888-808-1019. Let's talk to somebody who was actually at the last Steelers home game that they lost. Steve in Bound Brook, New Jersey. Hey, Steve.
Evan, Tiki, what's going on, guys?
What's happening, man?
So listen, Sean's too young to remember 1991. Evan, you were 8, if I do the math correctly,
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So the game has a tie to you, Evan. That's a hint, okay?
Okay.
So we drove out there 6 hours because my buddy had a friend who lived outside of Pittsburgh, and he had season tickets at Three River Stadium. We had 4 tickets, Monday night game, because the Giants were playing the Steelers. Giants went up 20-0. They were killing Bubby Brisker. They benched Brisker and brought in Neil O'Donnell off the bench. I think that was his first appearance.
2 former Jets, eventual former Jets, yes.
Yeah. So listen, he brings the Steelers all the way back late in the fourth quarter, ties the game 20-20. Giants get the ball with about a minute left, drive down the field. Matt Barr kicks the field goal at the buzzer. Giants win 23-20. But that's the last time the Steelers lost a home game on Monday night.
That is crazy.
34 and a half years. That's nuts.
That is nuts. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Giants jump out to a 12-0 lead. Dave Meggett with a 30-yard rushing touchdown to go up 20-0. They hit back-to-back field goals in the second half to make it 20-6. They scored a touchdown to make it 20-13. They get another touchdown to make it 20-20. And then Matt Barr with a game-winning field goal, 44 yards. And the New York Football Giants improved to 4-3 and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on a Monday night. The coaching matchup that night, Chuck Noll versus Ray Hanley. That feels like history.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. That's the last time the Steelers lost a Monday night football game at home. And speaking of history, the last time Aaron Rodgers even started a playoff game, you got to go back 4 full years to January of 2022 when he lost to the San Francisco 49ers 13-10.
That was the LaFleur kick the field goal game.
Is that the same game?
I'm pretty sure that was.
That's the last
Saturday night.
That's the last playoff game he's had. Incredible.
It doesn't feel like that, but when you think about it, it's only a few years ago.
Yes.
It feels like forever ago because the Aaron Rodgers Jet experience felt like it was a lifetime.
And remember the season prior to the Jets, they had to win an in-game versus the Dan Campbell upstart Lions and lost that game on the final Sunday night of the year.
Which felt like a playoff game, but it's not. Yeah, Rodgers has been checkered in his last bunch of playoff games. 2-4 in his last 6 postseason games. And by the way, the Texans, let's argue it. They're the hottest team in football. They come into this game on a 9-game winning streak.
And they have plenty of playoff experience themselves. They won a playoff game last year.
No, and like I mentioned, they've won their home playoff games. They've lost their road playoff games.
Yes.
2-0 at home, 0-2 on the road.
And their first ever wild card game not played at a Saturday at 4:30. In their history, seriously.
In their history?
In their history. They never played a wild card game not at Saturday 4:30.
Well, how many times have they been in the wild?
This is their 9th time. All 8 times they have started the wild card weekend.
That is impressive.
That is impressive.
And that's also why the NFL hasn't announced who's playing in what slot yet.
Right.
Because
in the next round,
the Texans,
100%.
I guess, are just so unappealing that if it's the Steelers and the Patriots.
Is it because the Dallas market or the Texas market doesn't even follow them?
It's one of the top 5 TV markets.
Yeah, it's not a TV market thing. I think it's a franchise icon standpoint. Like, there are Steeler fans everywhere. The Patriots have obviously become an iconic franchise. And the Texans they're just not. They're a Houston team. I'm sure the people of Houston love them. And like you said, Houston's a really big market. God bless you. But yeah, they just don't have that national appeal.
Yeah.
And that's why we still don't have official locked-in start times.
It feels like CBS wants Steelers-Pats. If they get the Texans, they're going to shift the Bills-Broncos. That's what it looks like.
Interesting. I mean, it makes sense. I kind of get it, though. Like, from a national standpoint, Patriots-Steelers has sex appeal. Texans-Patriots doesn't. Just the way it is.
It is.
Let's go to Dove in Queens. Hey, Dove.
What up, Dove?
Yeah, hi. First of all, Evan, Tiki, son, love the show. You guys got me through the day.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So, regarding the Bills game, and I'm bringing it back, first it was just a field goal. Right before halftime, they have a minute, and they drive all the way down. And you guys didn't mention the oddest touchdown of my lifetime. Ahmad Bradshaw hit into the touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yes.
And that was for the Patriots still needed a touchdown.
Yes.
And Gronkowski was an ankle injury away from, making that catch at the Hail Mary. So I want to hear what you guys think about that.
Yeah, that was the one where they let him score, and he's trying not to, and he kind of just sat down into the end zone.
Yeah, well, here's the difference. Like, I'm trying to think. So the situation was at that point, there was about a minute to go.
Yeah, I don't remember.
They were
it off
losing
top
in
of
the
my
game
head.
17-15. So they score a touchdown. They go up 21-17.
Yes.
But they also could have kicked a field goal. That's the difference.
Right.
No,
they could have kicked the 3. And Eli was yelling, go down, and they didn't go down.
That's the difference. In the Buffalo situation, they need to score a touchdown. If we're talking about a field goal and I'm worried that someone's going to Tony Romo in, it's going to be a bad hold or a bad snap, I'm not worried about that. If I have a 20-yard field goal, I would rather milk the clock out, take a knee, and win the game that way. But that wasn't the case with Buffalo. They needed to score a touchdown. Yeah. And there's so many weird things that could happen, like a false start that pushes you back to the 6-yard line, that I can't take that risk. So I remember the Bradshaw one, and he's got to go down, and it gave Tom Brady a minute. You never know what would happen. But I think that was different because a field goal was going to be good enough. And in this case, they had to score a touchdown.
Right. And when you take knees, and I can't emphasize this, you don't take a zero gain or loss knee. You lose a yard. And so it just makes it a harder down to convert. It sounds like it's the right thing. It's not always the right thing.
No, you're pushing yourself back.
Right.
And I think the greatest argument against it is the false start. All of a sudden, you're at the 6-yard line. And while you have a confidence that you'll be able to score anyway, there's no guarantee. So if that situation happens again, keep that in mind. But we got one more football game to wrap up Wild Card Weekend. We'll talk about it tomorrow when we're back on the air at 10 a.m. And also, officially, now that we feel safe about the coaching vacancies, we'll play Head Coach Bingo and predict where everyone will end up. If you missed any of today's show, you can rewind it on the free Odyssey app or download the Evan and Tiki podcast, or you can watch the entire show on YouTube. The Carton Show with Craig and Big Mac coming up next. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
This Odyssey Sports Minute is brought to you by Dr. Jay Shaw at Samwell Institute for Pain Management. Visit Samwell.